self-defense means meeting violence with violence. First a warrior, or all else is folly.
I'll just bring Paul over here. We have the Adam's apple. The hand makes a circle and chops into that brainstem. That's a knockout point. Thank you, Paul. I come right in and attack the Adam's apple. Thank you, Paul. So you poke from here right into the eye. Thank you, Paul. I hit him, comes flying back. If I miss, into there. Thank you, Paul. As you can see, there's a lot of force. Thank you, Paul. And we're squeezing hard behind the windpipe. Thank you, Paul. I follow through with the strike. Thank you, Paul. Wham, like that. Thank you, Paul. Kick, like that. Thank you, Paul. Coming right down on the skull. Thank you very much, Paul. 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 Out of that circle.
By following McSweeney's self-defense, you're going to be able to maintain a strong, healthy body and to protect it throughout your entire lifespan, or until you become disabled or fragile and weak.
We're discussing Satanism and the occult this morning and some of the dangers that are lurking about. And with me in the studio is the Dark Lord Blood, who is a seventh-generation satanic worshiper. I mean, are all your friends Satanists?
No, I don't have any friends, but my acquaintances are, yeah.
Uh-huh.
For the purposes of this study, we will focus on the number 666 and its use in the Universal Product Code.
Most people don't realize that 80% of all toys on the market have a cultic influence, and these are the most popular.
It says here that it actually makes the wings move, so let me, look at that. Isn't that amazing?
And do you remember those verses in the book of Revelation about the flying beast with the riders on them?
This could actually be taken from Revelations.
Sure, it looks like it.
I dealt with a boy, to abbreviate it, who wanted to kill me. The name of the demon that was inside the young man was named Azrael. I later found out that Azrael was Lucifer's personal death angel. Not only that, but I also found out that that was the same name as the cat on the Smurfs. And what is his primary objective? Is to catch those Smurfs and kill them for Gargamel.
And this kind of knife is being sold for that reason. There's something called an
But
empty.
it's also being sold for healthy reasons.
Man, what's healthy about selling a knife that
Vicky.
Snake Mountain. It's got an interesting little feature here. I'm going to turn it on. It can actually transform your voice from your regular voice to that of an occultic hero. Is that correct? So let's get a Skeletor type of voice. Let me turn this on here. I think I'm getting it too loud. Skeletor, the master of the universe.
Okay, everyone, I'll address it. Okay, fine. I see you in the chat, you little shits. All right, you little fucking shits. Yes. Yes, rules have been put up for chat. No, it's not the rules you think. It's not no nodes, this country and all that. It's nothing like that. No. But I do, listen, I do have some rules from the beginning that I've loosened up. And I noticed a trend. You guys know I have the thing. I notice patterns. That's the thing I'm into. I like patterns, right? It's the thing that I notice all the time. Here's the pattern I noticed. Every single person who's fucked us in the ass believes in fucking crazy shit. The earth is flat, fucking psychics, dreams, fucking there's a triangle and there's evil spirits in it. Look, you can believe whatever you fucking want. But when you start talking about it a little too much, you're grounded. Because I see what that means. My kids are trying to go goth. And listen, if you're going to go goth, you're going to go Bauhaus goth. Do you understand? Enough of this fucking fake goth, okay? We're not doing this fucking Hot Topic shit from the clearance rack, all right? That's coming in hot. So yes, I had to change some things. Mahjong board members today. Welcome, Select Board. I had to change. It's a little, okay, parts of Nebraska, sure. Fair enough. If you want to be Goth Brooks, if you want to be fucking Chris Gaines, that's fine. That's fine. But don't be talking about it on my watch. It's always a fight over the moon. I told you guys not to trust the moon. I'm talking about all your triangles. All of them, except the LBGT, sometimes Q. I don't know. Like, that one's fine. But I'm talking about these fucking, the boat disappeared, so it must be a fucking ghost. No, it sunk in the water, for fuck's sake. Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, C. Smith. Hell, if half you kids were into Sub Pop, I might allow a few dreams here and there, but it's gotten out of hand. You know, I'd rather get the emails telling me to kill myself. I'd really rather get those than the ones where someone's trying to explain to me that they have a tip in a crime, and it turns out it's just a shitty dream. And they always leave that for the end so that you get excited about it, and then you go, oh, it was a dream she had. Okay, great. Nagel, nagel, bagel, bagel. I agree. Anyway, yeah, and also on the side tab, you guys know how I like to follow the prompts and how on YouTube it says like, hey, you want to take part in this thing where, you know, you follow, here's success. Here's how you get success on YouTube. And they put it in the side tab on the creators thing. And it'll say, try a fun intro. And, you know, dad'll eat a little bit of, God's cabbage. Maybe smoke a little bit of God's cabbage. I don't know what I do with the cabbage. Don't fucking worry about it. I'm Polish. It's my business. The point is, I'll have a little something, something. I'll take a look at that and I'll go, maybe I will make a cool intro video. Then before you know it, I'm in trouble on Twitter. The point is, I saw the thing that said, you can make fucking, hey, here's how you level up as a creator. Go make up rules and make them follow it. And I went, well, we are a cult, aren't we? May as well live up to the fucking rumors. So that's what I did. I made up rules. And the rules are, I think it was, what did I put in there, kids? It was no moon, no psychics, no dreams, no feet, something like that. I don't know. But listen, just try to follow them. And if you don't, I won't notice. I won't notice. Okay? Run it by the devil. Hi, Satan. Hail you. Yeah, I know channel guidelines popped up. I might even change them to something like tits out. Show me your Sally portals. I don't know. But it's fun that I can do that. Make up rules. That's cool. What if I go mad with power? What if I'm like, tuck your shirts in, elbows off the table? Clay's Nanny, thank you for being a new member. Don't let them get you down. You see what I did to you, YouTube bad actors? You see what I did to you, Don Marie? You got wrenched. Mitty, I can't wrench you. It won't let me. I don't know how. I'm trying to wrench you all. Some of you have your settings to where you will not accept responsibility, like C. Smith. And I respect that. I respect that. No, you're not allowed to join a John Elway cult. Who is that? Football? Get out of here. Get out of here with that. We only play one game here, and it's called ass tennis. No, I'm just kidding. Today's going to be fun. Look, we're going to do something to wind down, and then we're going to have a special auntie on. Are you guys excited? It's going to be really good. I love it.
Yoga Moves, a new kind of workout. Take part in yoga, the most ancient system of healing, toning, and rejuvenating your body. Presented to you now with Alan Finger.
Join us. Have fun.
Also, did they say Alan Finger? Yep, that's what it says right there. Yep, Alan Finger. Try not to get uncomfortable while we warm up with some light stretching, kids.
Be rewarded too. Time for you. Time to relax. Get a new look at the world. A new look at you. Enlightenment isn't serious. Yoga moves will energize you. Give you a more radiant look. Strengthen and build your body. Relieve tension and stress. Stretch and tone your muscles. Release your inhibition. And add balance to your life. This is what Tantra Yoga is going to show you.
Hold on. There's God damn it. You didn't hear any of that, did you? Because I hit the wrong button. God damn it. Listen, we're getting those hats. Make America goth again. What is that? MAGA? Oh, God damn it. Fucking Satan. No self-tickle. No self-tickle. That's going to be a rule. We're going to star that. I'm going to start. You guys throw out the rules that you want to see in the future. Maybe we'll subtract. Darlene. You hitting dingers tonight, hon? Is that a dinger I see? Because it looks like you just hit a fucking dinger. Are you serious right now? Are you fucking serious? Because, again, with the funniest fucking thing on earth, what is wrong? Darling, what do you mean you don't bleed when you get... Are you trying to impress Satan, darling? He's already fucking impressed. At this point, I'm no longer convinced that Satan's inside you. I'm convinced that you're inside Satan, darling. That's how much dark magic you've been doing. You know, how do I reimburse you for the voodoo, darling? How do I do that? No mods to all mods, right? Extremes. That's what I'm all about. We'll mod everyone. We'll even mod the bad guys. I don't give a fuck. It's going to be fun. It's going to be like stone cold. It was. Oh, God, I'm sorry your gated community's turning into Texas. My bad. Fuck. Did you try throwing shit at them? Usually if you throw some shit at them, they'll go away. But like everyone's got to do it. I'm not condoning that. I'm just saying, did you? God, it's fucking disappointing. It makes me so fucking angry. We have to hide them. We have to hide our friends. That's what we have to do. You're practicing witchcraft with Darlene? She is a medical miracle. I absolutely love her. She's a marvel. Yes, I didn't. God damn it, Darlene. Fuck.
How to become free.
Why are you so
How
funny?
to balance your
Why are you so funny? Why are you like this? Come live with me, Darlene. Come to my house. Ditch your family. Abandon them. Come to me.
Body and mind. Reaching that inner inspirational place within every human being. How to stop that civil war that is being fought within your own being. To reach an inner peace, an inner joy, an inner ecstasy. Creating a energetic and youthful appearance and outlook to life. And the best part of it all is that enlightenment isn't serious.
Hear that? Did you hear that? Enlightenment isn't that serious, guys. You know? So what? You're enlightened. Big fucking deal. You feel me? Just get there. Just hurry up and get enlightened already. Video Jesus, are you loving this? This is your guest tonight, your auntie, Jesus. If you think I'm not going to bring Satan on and put them head to head one day, you're out of your fucking mind. You're out of your fucking mind. God damn it, AJ, get with the program. Also, why can't I mod you? Go fix your settings, kids. I'm modding all of you. You're all getting modded tonight. Fix your fucking settings. Mary, you don't have to. I know that you and Nanny, and I know that, you know, a couple of you guys, I know Scott, you guys just want to drink tea on your foyers or your verandas. And I get that. I get that. And also, you didn't see the list of rules because there are no rules for you, Mary. I can't fucking cage you. Definitely sex cult material. Dude, I'm so excited that you came out to your husband as a cult member. And thank you so much for complimenting this young lady. This is actually Video Jesus. She took this and she actually made this whole video. This is actually Abby. If you guys ever wonder what Abby was like, Auntie Abby before in the earlier times, that's her right there. That's Auntie Abby in the arms of a death angel. Isn't that fun? That's fun for her. Let's keep going.
Time for you. Time to relax. Get a new look at the world. A new look at you. Enlightenment isn't serious. Yoga moves will energize you. Give you a more radiant look.
You know what's kind of funny? First of all, tattoos, you've always been fucking hilarious, but this one in particular has layers. This comment is like a fucking onion. You know what's funny about this comment? I'm going to start punishing you guys by modding you. I'm going to start anytime you guys talk some shit or you need to be punished, I'm going to go, you know what? That's my best friend. And then I'm just going to let people spray diarrhea on you. You'll see what it's like to hang out with dad for a day. This is why you want to go stay the weekends at your mom's. And this is why we're not going to family court. And thank you very much, Tattoos, for being a loyal member. I absolutely adore you. And this is you.
Strengthen and build your body.
Well, what the fuck? Why can't I'm starting this. I'm going to go to Uncle Frank for fucking troubleshooting advice. Okay, that's where I'm at in life.
Relieve tension and stress. Stretch and tone your...
Hold on, this is OSINT. Wait a minute. I've always wondered what the difference was. A foyer is, and here's the thing, I worked in real estate. I still have no goddamn idea. A foyer is an interior and a veranda is an exterior. That's why you always hear out on the veranda and not in on the veranda. This makes sense. See, Smith, you're so fucking wise.
Your muscles. Release your inhibitions.
Grammy Shell, do you want me to send you an old laptop? Because I'll do it. A couple laying around. Don't worry, there's nothing on it. I'll wipe it. Just fucking hit me up in the email. Oh, shit. It's the OG Rabbit. Everyone, look out for Rabbit. If she wants to kill you and take you out at the ankles, I can't stop her.
And add balance to your life. This is what Tantra Yoga is going to show you. How to become free. How to balance your body and mind. Reaching that inner inspirational place within.
Isn't it crazy to think that back in the day, like in the 70s, all a dude had to do to get you to fuck is just stand on his head? Like, guess what? I'm not wearing a shirt and I'm standing on my head. And women were like, oh my God, it's amazing.
Every human being.
And now they don't even fucking stand on their feet half the fucking time. It's wild.
How to stop that civil war that is being fought within your own being. To reach an inner peace, an inner joy, an
nobody unmod Rabbit. If you unmod Rabbit, you're all grounded.
Inner ecstasy. Creating a energetic and youthful appearance and outlook
you're all getting
to life. And the best part of it all is that enlightenment isn't serious.
You're telling me Uncle Frank is stealing my future mods? I'm gonna go right in my live journal.
Feel yourself rise to a new and exciting dimension, filled with joy and ecstasy. Take this joy into the world with you. Have a super wonderful day.
God damn it, Mia, with the callback. FOIA is documents. That is true. That is true. FOIA is documents. FOIA is documents. This is good, OSINT. How am I Southern? What the fuck is wrong with you? You all need to stretch. Look, remember Mike Nastics? Listen to me. This is actually me. I'm a deep fake. I am you guys know this, right? Like we've all figured it out. That's why you never see me in real life, because I'm a deepfake. I am a AI bot, and I'm a bot, and I'm here to bot you and to fuck with you and to ruin your time. And I'm a robot, and I have no feelings, and I am made out of beef. And you know, when I had to assume human form, I chose this body, Mike. But when I'm on the internet, I have to wear this mask and Bob, aka Bob, aka dead. But when you guys aren't around, I'm fucking Mike.
You may wonder, gymnastics, what is that? Well, it's meant to be similar to gymnastics. Although my name is Mike, it's not Jim, and the things I do are similar to gymnastic activities. So, voila, Mike Nastics.
You're having me. We'll fix that. We'll do that. I do not have a butthole because I'm a deep fake. Satan has high deep fake standards. Yes. A pork product? Jesus. I am a bird. You guys know it. Bird? Me too. Yes, she is here. She's watching this embarrassing intro. In fact, let's pull her in. Abby, are you ready? I'm unmuting her fucking mic. How's
I am ready. Hi. I'll turn my
Auntie Abby. Say hello to all the kids, everyone. This is your auntie. Abby, you're in a cult.
Auntie Abby.
I'm sorry, but the second you come into the atmosphere, even if you're just in the chat, you have automatically given me all your metadata and you are now in a cult. And all your data.
You know what? I like being in your cult. I'm down with it.
Thank you.
It's
and we do take your cookies. We are going to share whatever we find in your Sally portal. And the only way out of the cult is to tell my dog he's cute. He's asleep right now. So I'm afraid you're stuck in it for a little longer. Are you okay with that?
I am cool with that. I mean, my cat's literally sleeping right next to me, my little Meebs. He's
little
I don't know if
Meebs?
you can see him.
He's
He's a little black cat right there. He's just chilling.
So
Sorry,
for
my
those
cat's
of you
just, like,
calling
napped so bad.
Abby racist, she has a black cat. So you need to fucking watch your ass. So Abby,
Hey,
let
you
me
know
ask
what?
you-
That wasn't even
What's
my
going on?
doing. I will not take responsibility for that comment.
No one's calling you racist. I just love to make a joke.
I've been getting comments about it, so I'm like, no, it wasn't.
I'm the one who made the orange is the new black comment, and now I'm still getting that shit. But listen, it was a good
Hey,
pun.
you know
It was
what?
fun
It
wordplay.
happens. It happens. But I do have, I have my black cat. So I mean,
He's
that's
beautiful.
kind of like saying that you have, friends type of.
Well, I have a biracial dog. He's black and white, so I have to be very careful because he's oppressed already. And he also chews on his foot too much and he farts. So, he's got a hard life. And we're very excited to have you, me and the Hugin today. And what is your cat's name again?
Meeb.
Okay, so Meeb and the Jeeb are here today. Okay.
Yeah.
So Meebs
You know what's
and
funny
Jeebs.
is I named him after my ex-boyfriend that passed away. That's like his initials. And it's funny because my current boyfriend, I call him Basic Bob because he's like super basic. It's like his favorite cat. He's just like, yeah, Meebs is my favorite, which is really ironic because it's named after my ex-boyfriend.
Well, how many fucking cats do you have?
I have 3.
Okay, so we have ranking systems here. Like I always insist, like if you have kids or pets or boyfriends, whatever you have, like rank them so that they know their place.
Yeah,
Bob has ranked that one.
No, well, no. So my favorite cat is Brutus. So he's my oldest. I've had him since 2018, and then I got Meebs like in 2021. And then I have another cat, Merc. So we named him after we have like an F1 thing, me and my boyfriend, Basic Bob. We love F1 and our favorite racing team is Mercedes.
Like
so
here in Austin, we have the F1 track now.
Yeah. It's I went to the F1 race in Las Vegas.
Oh,
this year. It was so much fun.
Is that the one? So I always get confused, but that's the one where like the cars just go straight and then fire shoots out of their ass, or is it different?
No, it's
Okay.
there's actually more international races. So it's Formula 1 racing.
Okay.
So like the form, and you would think that they're very loud, but they're not. My boyfriend's really, really into it. I mean, he loves it. And his favorite team is Mercedes and his best friend. So me, his best friend, and his girlfriend, we all went to Las Vegas. And the tickets are super. I mean, if you want to go to an F1 race, just be willing to spend a lot of money.
Well, no, I know the dudes who come into town whenever there's F1 here. My friends who work in the service industry are like, it's like Final Four apparently, or like a UT game. They're like, I have to work. I'm like, why? And they always tell me that's the best night for tips because rich motherfuckers, like people from like Saudis come and they drop like $6 bills at the Cheesecake Factory. It's insane.
They drop so much money.
It's really fucking crazy. So F1, so have you gone to the Austin one yet?
No. So there was actually not. So there was an Austin race. It was either Austin or Miami this year, and I looked at both tickets, and they were pretty affordable. Like they weren't bad.
Okay, just tell us a number. Come on, we talk about money here. How much? How much for a ticket?
This year wasn't bad for Las Vegas, so I think I spent like $5,000 per ticket.
What, for a ticket?
Yeah. I had good seats though, so I will say that I had good seats. And my boyfriend.
How much WrestleMania costs? Is that like a special one, or is it all of them are like that? I'm so shocked. What?
So our favorite driver, Lewis Hamilton, it's his last year racing for Mercedes, and that's my boyfriend's favorite team. So I decided. So me and his best friend's girlfriend were like, well, last year we're like, what are we gonna get our boyfriends for Christmas? And so we were thinking about it, and it's like, okay, like this is like the one last shot they're ever going to be able to see Lewis Hamilton race for Mercedes. So
what's Lewis Hamilton like? Like, what's his deal? Why do you guys like him?
Oh my gosh, you should totally Google him. He's so
okay.
He's so fun.
I'm gonna Google.
He's,
well, how
very
about this?
attractive.
No,
I
because
think he's
this
very
is
attractive.
what we're
He's
about.
also a very good racer.
This is what we're about. We go down Sally portals here. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pop us out and play this, and I'm gonna look it up. Okay. You send me in the private chat right now. Can you send me his name? And like spell it out, and
I'll
I'm gonna
send you actually a link.
Yeah, send me a link, and we're gonna play gymnastics. I'm gonna let you view this guy a little bit more because this is we're gonna set you and boring ass Bob up with this guy. We're gonna get him in your household. We're gonna have him come over.
I'm in.
He's gonna teach you gymnastics. Okay, send me that link, and then we'll go on a little wild goose chase, and then we'll pop back in. Okay, because I want to find out what this guy's about. All right, here we go.
All right.
There we go. And dismount, I almost cut my toe. Gotta be careful when I'm swinging that way. Number 5. Number 11. Number 17.
Hey, speaking of number 17, you guys, this actually has nothing to do with 17. Megan, thank you for 5 memberships. Thank you so much. That fucking rules, and I appreciate you. Are you guys excited to find out about F1? And then we'll talk about the Sallyport stuff, but like we got to ease into it because I need to know who this guy is and what he's about. And also I need to see more of Mike. Sorry, Mike. Max Nastics. No, that's not going to work. Mike Nastics. Also, he is wearing his sawed-off jean shorts, and I do appreciate that.
See that? So, there you have it, and hope you enjoyed the show.
Crank it up! only have a limited number that we can ship out right now because it is very, very popular. We're going to go to the phones. Hi, you're on there with Lisa. And Kevin, what's your name? Hi, Lisa. It's Renee from California. Hey, Renee. Chris is over there kind of giving us a look at how to use the ladder there.
I got to tell you something. I have this ladder. It is awesome.
Oh, now what
And
do you use it
everybody
for,
wants
Renee?
everybody wants this ladder. I live in an apartment with vaulted ceilings. Uh-oh.
Okay, we're going to make sure that Chris is okay.
And that has never happened.
Well, you know, it's a very slippery floor up there in front of our doors sometimes, so we're going to make sure that Kevin's okay.
Yep.
He's moving, he is okay, but he scared
Chris
me
is
for a
good.
moment
He's up there. He's okay.
Let's take a relaxing break and leave cyber stress behind. Come.
Okay, we have to watch this one because we have a lot of cyber stress right now. But as soon as this is over, we're going to find out what Abby's blabbing about because I want to know who this guy is.
With me to a clearing, a stream, a mountaintop, and finally to outer space. At each stop in our journey, I will share with you methods that may help you relieve the physical and mental stress that comes from long hours at your computer.
Nope, sorry, fuck this. Fuck this, lady. Okay, hold on. I just saw who Abby's talking about. Abby, I just saw who you're talking about. Oh
my
damn.
God.
Oh my God.
dreamy.
Hold on.
And my boyfriend
Hold
wouldn't even be mad
on.
for me saying that. He's so dreamy.
Okay, let's show the kids. Kids, listen. You guys remember when we talked about how Yanetti's speech made us all slide out of our chairs and Cannon Daddy made us swallow the bar stool? Whoa, Daddy. Wait till you see Lewis Hamilton. Hello, but still my beating everything, sir.
I know. He's so dreamy.
Oh my God. What a lovely, lovely man.
I
Yes.
know. And it's his last year at Mercedes, like this year. So he's going to be racing for Ferrari next year, I think. So that's why we spent so much money on the tickets. We're like, we have to see his last year at Mercedes.
Now, listen, as an audiovisual expert, come on. That's not his real body, right?
No, it seriously is. I mean, I would
It'd be
cast him
so
for a
funny.
commercial any day. I mean, literally, if I could get Lewis Hamilton to be in a commercial, I would sell so much stuff. It would just be crazy.
Look, Tivnock, show him. Yeah, he's not Crash Daddy, right? He's absolutely a snack, lazy. Look at this little snack. Damn, dude. Damn. You know,
I know.
I hate to brag on him, but we had a kid in here in our chat. I haven't seen her in a minute, but she used to kick it around here. Fucked a new kid on the block. I think this could be better.
I mean, he's he's snackable. Snackable for sure.
So what are these points? Like, how do you get points? You're just driving a
Basically,
car,
like,
right?
Yeah. So like start, finishing, qualifying, you know, like I'm not going to lie, I'm more of a college football fan, but I've gotten into F1. So yeah, they have a different point system and everything, but he's a very good racer. He actually did. So the crazy thing is that he didn't do super well this year. He didn't, it wasn't his best year, but when we went to Las Vegas, which was literally the perfect race because
where was
two of
it in
them are
Vegas?
so he came in second, and then now I'm having a brain fart. Who's the one that came in first? What's his name? He's George Russell. George Russell came in first and he came in second. So they're both Mercedes team racers. So my boyfriend was like thrilled. He's like, I couldn't have planned this better. It was so great because his two favorite drivers came in first and second. So it ended up being a really good trip. So it was definitely.
But I thought you said, didn't this guy do Ferrari? Or no, wait.
No, next year he's doing Ferrari.
Okay. Ooh, is that him?
Yeah, so he's
that's a
going to
nice
be doing
one.
Ferrari next year, but he was on the Mercedes team like this past year.
That's a crazy looking fucking car. How fast do these things go?
Really fast. Really, really fast.
Damn, is that him looking all British?
It's 10 times faster than NASCAR. It's
10 times?
insane. And they're actually very quiet. You would think that the cars would be really, really loud on the track. And we actually were upgraded. So initially when I got the tickets, I mean, they were expensive, but they weren't like the most amount. Like you can spend a lot of money on F1 tickets. But we ended up buying the tickets, and I got like an early deal, so I bought them when they like last December when they were on pre-sale, and they upgraded us. So we had like front row seats, which was really awesome. So it was a good surprise. And it was at the start and finish line, which was awesome. It was so much fun.
I have to let you know, Abby. I mean, we're not trying to brag or anything, but Melissa, aka Jared, she fucked a weatherman once.
Be careful about the weatherman.
Why?
Sometimes they can be a little creepy, man. I'm just saying.
Oh shit, Rabbit, look out. Rabbit does the weather. Rabbit took a class on the weather. Yes, Judy. Abby is in the house. Welcome, Judy takes no shit from nobody. Let me just say that. Judy's been out there killing it on the front lines for us, Abby. You have no idea what she's been through. God damn
$50 ever.
Speaking of in the trenches, fucking Mary Malarkey, she'll take heads off. You guys are all crazy as fuck, but the craziest is definitely Melissa, because she did fuck a weatherman. And
she's careful of the weatherman.
Storm chaser, that one. It's crazy. She did fuck a weatherman. So we have someone who fucked a new kid, a weatherman. We need to get someone to fuck this guy. All right. And then tell us about it, because he looks fun. And also, that's a scary car. Do people die in this?
Oh yeah, I think so. There's been a couple like really bad crashes.
Like how many?
Really bad ones. But I don't know if anybody's died, but I've only become a recent fan, so I'm sure there has been deaths.
Okay. We're gonna have to start looking into this, because
I think you would actually like F1.
I might. I like wrestling. I like to see fat guys in tiny cars. Are there any fat guys that do F1?
No, you have to be light, because the lighter you are, the faster the car goes. So you have to be, can't be overweight too much.
Okay, well, what
you
about
don't really
this?
have a lot of fat guys.
What if one day I'll go look at one of these skinny car races with you, and then you go with me to monster trucks?
Yo, I love monster.
Do you like Medusa?
I'm from Ohio. I'm from Ohio.
Shit.
I love a good monster truck.
Okay, so we're both like half white trash. I feel you. So yeah, definitely. I'm full. But like 100%. Yeah, so we like okay, so do you watch Medusa? Do you like her?
Yeah.
He was a women's champion who threw the title in the trash and then came back, Alundra Blaze, and took the title again in a different company. She's had the title, well, at one point she was the most decorated in multiple companies in women's wrestling. She fought Rockin' Robin, Mae Young. She was amazing. But she went off to become an amazing monster truck wrestler. And she's still fucking out, or not. Well, she's a wrestler and a monster truck driver. She does both, but all at the same time. And she beat Gravedigger like 3 times in a row.
Well, you know what I find really interesting about it's like the worldwide wrestling, WWE or WWF, like
World Wrestling Entertainment.
I love the entertainment value of it. We all know it's fake, but it's just the choreography is very good.
Not fake. It's not fake. It's just, it's a script.
Well, not fake, but it's theatrical.
It is. I mean, really think of it this way. It's theater with stunts. So stuntmen really fall. They really break their necks. That happens all the time in wrestling. Like so much. And people really get hurt. And that's why they retire at fucking 40. And that's why it's crazy that DDP started at 35. But like, it's real. It's just planned. So it's like saying it's scripted.
That Netflix. So I always thought it was really fake until I saw the Netflix documentary recently. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It was good.
The one with the people in Ohio? Are you talking about the one with OVW? Ohio Valley? Are you talking about
it was like the CEO.
The McMahon documentary, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
that was heavily edited too. He's so much worse. We're actually going to cover him a lot. And the thing is, I used to love him. And then you kind of get to know what it's all about. When I started like doing makeup for wrestlers and shit a long ass time ago, oh my God. Wow. And then we became friends with a bunch of wrestlers who are now in WWE. And like the shit you hear is insane. And I got some comedy friends who wrote, one of them, Matt McCarthy, wrote the Daniel Bryan Kane Team Hell No storyline, which is like a huge storyline. They improv'd when Harry met Sally for one of the promos. and he has a podcast called We Watch Wrestling. If any of you guys want to hear a great comedy wrestling podcast, that's the one. His partner on that podcast, Vince, is married to chick from My Favorite Murder, Georgia. So they are My Favorite Murder adjacent, and they go on each other's, or they have once or twice. So they kind of intertwine with true crime. But what's crazy is they do such good impressions of Vince McMahon, and Matt used to work under him, and he tells some of the wildest stories. Like Vince McMahon hates smoking. He thinks coughing's a sign of weakness. He'll like fire you on the spot for shit like that. He also will chase people around with shit on the end of a stick. So like he's a fucking insane billionaire. He's like, what is a burrito? Like he's fucking crazy. Like if he sees you crying, he'll be like, get out. Like he's just nuts. He's nuts. And then one time he had a storyline where he's like, I will have sex with my daughter and she'll have my baby. And his daughter, Stephanie, just stood up and went, we're not going to do that, Dad. And then everybody in the boardroom was like, because he was serious. And then he was like, fine, the Undertaker will do it. And then he just walked out. Just crazy stories like that. Fucking insane, dude. Fucking insane, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I did makeup for some indie wrestlers. This thing called Wrestle Circus. And it was so fun. And I got to meet a bunch of them. And then they went up the card. And now they're kind of big. It's crazy. One of them, though, she said the N-word a lot and started taking dumps on camera for money. And so she got kicked out of wrestling forever. And then she just shows back up at TNA the other night to beat the babyface. Everyone's like, they were like, you're a racist. And then she's like trying to have this wrestling match. And then people are just like, you pooped. And it's like, God damn, this is where we're at. It's like if people were yelling tweets at you while you fought someone. It's
You have
insane.
the best stories I've ever heard in my life. Can I
These
just
aren't
say how
real.
much I enjoy?
They
Even
happen.
like the last stream we were on. I mean, I could just talk to you for hours because you literally have the best stories I've
Dude,
ever
you
heard
too.
in my entire life.
We talked a
It's
lot the other night,
fantastic.
dude. We've talked a lot.
Did.
Dude, what a roller coaster of emotions we've been on. God damn, dude. I feel like we
it's
should
calming
switch
down
channels.
now.
Like, here, you take mine, I'll take yours. This is fucking crazy. And also, god damn, dude, the internet's nuts. Like, it's really nuts.
so weird and like
I'm astounded every day.
vile sometimes. It's just like it's a lot because I'm not paid on the internet. So when I go on and I'm just getting like, what is it, tweets or retweets every, I don't know, like
Dude, we
hundreds
should
of them.
read
It's
those.
like
We
vile
should
shit.
read mean tweets of ourselves. I know tonight so tonight, you guys, we
You
got
should
something
read
special
mean
planned.
tweets.
Well, it
I
was
have a
supposed
lot
to
of
be.
them.
Maybe we'll read the mean tweet. There's so many. Dude,
There's so many.
Do you laugh at them? Because I
do.
want, like, part of me at first I was like, this hurts my feelings. And then I showed it to my buddy Michael and he was just dying. Like, anytime I show them to someone like this, or I just read it to someone, they always laugh. And then I realized this is very stupid. And so I've tried reading them out loud to myself, and I started reading them to my dog and looking at his reaction. And I was reading one the other night to him, and it was like, you're a stupid fat bitch. Nobody likes you. You're not even funny. You're a failed comedian. And then I go, what do you think of that, Mookies? And he goes like this. And I just remember being like, dude. And now it's like, it's kind of my favorite thing now. I'm kind of like, they're starting to get really creative. Like,
I like the creativity. Like, I give major creativity points for really mean tweets that are just somewhat creative. Because, when it's not creative, it's not really that much fun. I mean, I still laugh at them, but I like the real creative ones. Those
the
get
ones
me
where
going.
it's like, I know that you are, and then you kind of Mad Lib whatever, and you're like, I am. Like, somebody called me an alcoholic, and I was like, oh my God, thank you, because I'm like allergic to alcohol, and I've always felt really uncool. And so now I'm like, yeah, I'm just a booze bitch. Like, it kind of
I
made me
was
feel
on a
good.
drink hack, so I mean, I guess.
Oh yeah, drink hack. What was that? Was that drunk hack, or were they saying
No, it's
drunk?
a drink hack. I don't even know what the hell that is, but I know it was because that turd was in, like, again, like a live stream with me, Aussie, and Miss Shorty.
Yeah.
And I know that he was in that chat, and I was talking about my departed loved one, how he had, he was a recovering alcoholic. So I know that he just said that to get to me. It was that Adam turd. And so that's what got me really raging, which is not an excuse.
And I think I did
I
retweet it. And I was
overreacted.
like, yeah, fuck you, Abby. But I was genuinely thinking, like, what does he mean? But I just
I
thought
mean-
it was because Boston, they have weird. That one chick called Turtle Boy a big fucking bird. And then Uncle Frank called someone, what was it? A clown shoe.
Well, this is the thing. I wasn't even insulted by it. That's like the most ridiculous part about it is I wasn't insulted by it. I was just like anger triggered by it. I was just like, that mother effer. I know it was it was just like, it was the point. I know that sounds even, it's worse than being like personally insulted because you're like, no.
I know. Look what Melissa put. Half the mean tweets these two have gotten was from each other.
Oh my God. Even when I think you went on a stream and you said some really what was it? I actually laughed though. Even when you were like,
yours made me laugh too, and I was like,
when
damn,
you were
she's
hounding me
pretty
on your
good.
stream, I was like, that's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie,
dude. When I was fighting with JFK and Baby James, I'm pretty sure we all started laughing at the same time because it turned into a wrestling thing. And then it was like, well, then I'll do a promo as Dustin Rhodes, and it started out serious on Twitter, and then it got to where we were just cutting promos, and then it was fun. And it was like one of those weird movies from the 90s where people are like beating the shit out of each other and all of a sudden they start tickling each other and they're like, we're best friends. And it's like, what the fuck just happened? Dude, Twitter's wild.
it's wild. I think even on your stream when you were talking about me, you made this one like Jesus clip and it was hilarious. I literally laughed out loud. I couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, dude,
was it the one with all the Jesuses?
I think it was like a
101
Jesus clip or something. Yeah, it was something. It was awesome.
Have it. Yeah, it was 101 Jesuses.
Yes, it was
and honestly,
so good.
Here it is. Look, and honestly, I you know what's great is I put it on that night. In all seriousness, I put it on to watch Power Team. Yeah. Because me and my boyfriend have been talking a lot lately about the guys who can rip the phone books and how impressive that is. And then we see this. Well, I saw it. I told him about it. I saw a homeless guy do it. Like this skinny one who's drunk and he can barely stand up. He's standing at the corner a couple of weeks ago and he just takes a phone book and goes, and he like, it took nothing. And I'm like, hold on a second. Like if this old skinny drunk can do it, what was the Power Team about? And then it occurred to me like, oh my God, I should just look up how they do this. So I just Googled, how did the Power Team rip phone books? And it came up so many videos and instructions. All you do is you just bend the binding so that it's like diagonal. And then you start at the smallest one and it really just does page by page.
Oh.
So you can actually easily tear a phone book if you just kind of slide, like bend the not the binding, but the other side, the loose leaf part. And so then I'm like sitting there watching these Power Team videos like, this is amazing. And then this shit popped up in my algorithm and I was like, perfect. And then what was weird is I didn't realize till halfway through, like, oh my God, I'm in a beef with Jesus and I'm showing all these Jesus videos.
It was so great though. I mean, it was so great. It was so funny. I watched it. I'm like, this girl's ripping on me, but it's hilarious. Like I can't even really be mad about it because it was so entertaining.
Well, I appreciate you. I apologize, but in all seriousness,
no, you don't have to apologize. I had a soft spot because I'm like, she's ripping on me, but she's really not even ripping on me that hard, and she's playing Jesus videos. It's
because look at this dude. Like, look at this dude. So how can you be fucking mad?
You can't be mad because it's so funny.
Who's the guy? Is it Rex Kwon-Do from that movie where he's like, bow to your sensei? That's Napoleon Dynamite, isn't it? Eat the food.
Yes, it's Napoleon Dynamite. Yes, I think it's Napoleon Dynamite.
This is the Rex Kwon-Do. And look, it says Catholic Power on his shirt.
It's so amazing. I just loved how you ripped on it. I was just like, this girl's amazing.
Dude, here's what we got to do. We got to learn to break bricks. I think if we can break bricks with like our head and we can rip phone books, no one will fuck with us on Twitter anymore.
I mean, that's true.
Like, would you want to fuck with someone who can rip a phone book and just screams at you?
No, I think that's a skill that we should really work on.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think a bullet can go through a brick. Bricks might be a little bit harder.
Yeah, and they also said in some movie back in the 80s, was it Turner and Hooch? One of them, they put a phone book on their belly and duct tape around it and to get shot.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
and it protected them from the bullet. And I just keep thinking like that can't be right, but I also don't want to test it. But it's like, how shitty are our bullets if they like can't go through a phone book, but then the power team guys can rip them in half?
Yeah, it's a little odd, I'm not gonna lie, because even before this whole thing went down, I think I sent you a video of, well, I actually posted it on Twitter of like a drive-by shooting that happened in my apartment.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I got the guy that actually did the drive-by shooting because he was just shooting up in the air. And luckily he missed my window, but it went into the brick. So not even
I
like
thought he was, no, he didn't just shoot in the air. He shot at one of your neighbor's windows.
Well, he shot at the building, but he shot like he was shooting up. So
Okay.
he shot so he shot 2 windows out of my neighbors, and then he shot like right on the side. So right when he pulled out, it was maybe like a foot from my window. And I was literally, so this is my window right here. I was sitting right here and he just missed it and it went right into the brick. But I mean, it didn't go through the actual brick, but it hit the
no.
side of the building. You could see it. But it was so funny. I'm like, man, thank God I live in a brick building.
Right.
So
and
convenient.
then, you know what's crazy is you had sent me, I think, the footage, and I was watching, or you were on the news. I watched you on the news.
Yeah.
That's when I reached out to you because I was like, damn. And I saw the footage on the police press release for that county.
Yeah.
And that guy casually, slowly walks away.
Yeah, just chilling. He's slowly. Well, so what he did was he came out from the side entrance, slowly walks away. He was having a fight with, I think the guy that lives downstairs is like a drug dealer. Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
all the neighbors don't like him. Sketchy people going in and out. I've complained to my landlord about this a couple times because he actually used to be a really nice building. It's like an old bra factory. It's very lofty. It's honestly, it's not that expensive.
You live in an old pit factory?
I do. It's like an old bra factory. It's like very fun.
It protects your tits and your life.
Exactly.
Great
Right?
building.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. And then like, not only that, but okay, so that guy, he shot a bunch and then he slowly walks to this car and then he slowly drives it around the parking lot. And you know what? It kind of
fires out of his car.
Yeah, and then fires out of his car. And it kind of fits the theme.
It does.
Because isn't it amazing how your shit fuck landlords and all these dipshits around the area and the shitty fucking cops all managed to get the video footage of that happening, unedited, in perfect, pristine condition, to put on the news and say, hey, what the fuck? And yet fucking Canton can't seem to find the Sallyport video.
No, they can't. Honestly, even that video that I got on my landlord's was on a DVR, and I was the one that offloaded it. I'm not gonna lie.
So you're telling me, hold on, your shitty fucking landlord who just willy-nilly is like, so what? You got shot at. Big whoops, sweetie.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Which is
who
why we're on
hasn't
the news, just to
invested.
screw him in the ass, just to be like, you should care more about your tenants. So nobody
So
would
just to be clear, the Canton Police Department in Norfolk, some of the highest paid police in the country, with an entire, I mean, the town's so rich and full of people, they have to have a select board. We can't possibly have a city council. In fact, we're going to fucking audit everything and we're going to pick the elite. We're going to have different departments with all these people.
Yep.
Those people who have a select board, unlimited budget, oversight over the police, they have everything set up for success, has the same fucking technical video capabilities as your shitty landlord who lets you get shot at and goes, don't call me anymore?
Actually, probably my landlord has better capabilities because I'm here, but but yeah,
Okay.
I mean, that's the problem, is that all of this missing footage, I don't think it's missing. I think they know exactly what they're doing.
I know you do. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. Here's what I'm going to do. I need to go take a piss. But I'm going to put you in charge of the kids. You're babysitting. These are your nieces and nephews. Okay. I don't care if you're drunk. If you want to take them to the zoo and drive there, that's fine. Just go fast so you get there quick. I'm going to go pee. I'm going to put you in charge and I'm going to let you live react to this, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I want you to see 101 Jesuses I want you to
I want to
enjoy
see
yourself.
101 Jesuses. I love this video.
I know. If you love it, it's yours. I'll be right back. You guys treat Abby good. Don't hurt her. Abby, you can say whatever you want to them, okay? Anything
Okay,
you want.
I'm gonna start monitoring the chat.
Listen, if you want to overthrow this cult and take a swing at me and take it all, today's the day, okay?
Hey,
if
you
you
know
want to
what?
get in their
I
heads
think we
and say
both
some shit.
we both had enough shit for I think a lifetime. So you know,
I'm just saying,
it's cool.
If you want to brainwash them in 30 seconds, now's your time, okay? Now's your
right.
time. All right, guys, be good to Abby. I'll be right.
Give me a J. Give me an E. Give me an S. Give me a U. Give me an S. What's that spell? Give it up for Jesus!
Such a great video.
Hey, look! It's Jesus! You've come. I mean, I knew you would come, but you've come.
I have come.
I want to tell you about my Jesus.
Jesus. Jesus. To Jesus.
Jesus!
Jesus. Jesus. Jesus.
Too bad for you, Jesus.
Jesus Christ is Lord! Jesus put his fingers in my ears.
Who touched my clothes?
Bring some baskets to me.
Let's have fish for breakfast.
Put your finger here. Someone touched me.
He ate some bread.
God help me, Jesus.
Hey, Bobby, cancel that order for Jesus.
He has a demon! Someone touched me.
Cause you know I love you. Did you see our way?
Go and call your sister.
Why are you bothering this woman?
Since I came, she has not stopped kissing my feet.
I accept Jesus as my savior.
I accept Jesus.
Who was it? Who touched me?
Praise the Lord!
Everything you've seen in this video, what's your favorite so far?
I just love the edited content, how they just keep saying Jesus, Jesus.
Did you see the bitch one with the brucellosis?
Yes.
Check that bitch's tits for brucellosis. And we are getting shirts. It's actually happening, kids. I finally got everything to not look blurry and shitty. So that's coming soon. And we're getting select board shirts. And we're getting some other shirts that will be a big surprise. And we'll get a free one for Aunt Abby and send it out to her because she's going to love it. What do you think? What do you think about the power team? Did they come to your school? Did you ever have the guys in the American flag shit come phone books and tell you about Jesus?
I went to like inner city schools in Columbus.
Mhm.
So I did go to a Catholic school at one point, and I think it was like up until 7th grade, and they tried to make me, you know how you have to do the confession thing? Not
Yeah.
confession, confirmation. The confirmation
Yeah,
thing.
there's confirmation, communion, catechism, confession. It's all C's, Catholic. Everything's got.
It's all C. It's like a C thing. I don't know.
Mhm,
But I
mhm.
remember they wanted me to do like the confirmation thing, and I know that I say I'm the video Jesus. I'm only the video Jesus of video. I don't know if I actually believe in the Jesus type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I refused to do it. My mom wasn't happy, and then that was the end of Catholic school. So I did get kicked out of Catholic school. I'm not gonna lie.
I got kicked out of the Catholic school in 2nd grade.
Oh, good. Okay,
100%.
we have something to
I got
relate
kicked out.
to.
I would not shut the fuck up. I kept talking. My teacher was like, "Stop talking." I had an
Me
incident
too.
where I had to say a million Hail Marys and Our Fathers. I got smacked by a nun with a legit ruler, like on the TV, and I took it and
Oh,
I
they
smacked.
love doing that. That's like our
Yeah.
thing. Is they just like whip you with the
Yeah.
ruler.
But they got me and she went whack, whack. I grabbed it and then I just went whack. And then fucking my life ended. It was like, you're done. You're fucking done. And yeah, but Catholic school was pretty lit because I remember like we got to eat bread and I was really good at we got to eat the body of Christ. We ate some dude's toes. I don't know. We ate Christ's body in a little wafer. It was pretty good.
Creepy, right? When they say eat the body of blood of
Yeah.
Christ. I'm like, what the hell is that shit?
It's so
Sounds
weird.
very cannibalistic.
It is. And also like the whole, I was very confused with, they're like, this is my body, this is my blood. And it's like, so we're eating people. And they're
That's
like,
what
no.
I'm saying is so cannibalistic. It's just like a weird thing going
Yeah.
on.
And they're just like, oh, I'm like, are we in Liberia? Like, what's going on here? Like, I thought we were America. I thought we were okay. And they're just like, no, it's symbolic. And I'm like, Well, if it's symbolic, why doesn't it taste better? Like, can we not get better symbolism?
Also, doesn't it kind of ruin your appetite too? Like, I don't want to imagine eating the body and blood of Christ. Like, that's weird, man. Wasn't he human? I'm just saying.
Like, is this the dick part? I don't know if I'm ready for this. Like, I don't want to eat his forehead either. That kind of feels weird. Like, there's just a lot. My body of Christ has a hair in it. Do I send it back? Is it like, what's the etiquette?
Yeah.
And my buddy Michael says that when he accepts the church bread, he would do it like this. And then after it went in, he'd go at the priest and give him a wink. Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing to do to a priest. That might,
when
that
I
might,
would
be-
accept
that might be
communion,
bad.
I'd sometimes do a little wink just to be funny, and I get in all kinds of trouble. And he's over here doing the tongue.
Well, you know, they have a thing in Boston. They had that priest thing a long time ago. So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you know, got to be careful
You know,
doing that stuff.
I hesitate to say it, but I had a video up recently that somebody that we used to know did like the same one the next day, or maybe even later that afternoon. But it was about a guy who was going to meet a young lady, which seems to be a common theme in fucking true crime, who was too young for him. And I ended up taking the whole video down because, you know, other people covered it, so it's out there. But when I read about like his family and stuff, I got very uncomfortable because like the one you're talking about, the priest in Boston, that was that guy's son. And he won a lawsuit. Yeah. Like a big lawsuit. Like he was on the cover of magazines. Like that was the biggest Catholic Church scandal in Boston. And I was like, 2 degrees to this guy? To dick abuser? Fucking small world shit, you know?
It is small world.
Jesus Christ. Personally, I enjoy the blood of Christ, says Miss Tombstones. Tombstones, you're so fucking funny. I spit out the body of Christ as a kid till my mother caught me. Well, come on now. Come on now. Body of Christ, sweet swimmer's body, all muscled up and toned. Body. He is fucking ripped, dude. He's so, dude, of course he wanked, dude. You got to get the fucking demon out. You got to get the Hudson out. But we have a dude in here, Hudson. He's been on a dude. What am I saying? He's my oldest child. He's been here the longest, I think. Officially, it's like there's 5 of you that have been here since the fucking day one. I know Darlene's probably one of them. Hudson, he dressed up as Satan for the election. And we'll go to Trump rallies dressed as Satan and say Satan for Trump on a sign. And he tried to not instigate, but just converse. And he met a wonderful Amish boy who was from Tennessee and didn't like Kamala. And he got TikTok viral. He's the Georgia Devil. And he came on and did an interview with us in full satanic garb.
I think I saw that.
Yeah.
I think I saw that stream.
That's our baby boy Hudson. He grew. He grew.
Way.
And most baby birds fly away from the nest, but he grew devil fucking wings and horns and flew away. And he's back, and he's, you know, I wrenched him up because he's the fucking devil. What are you going to do? But I always I wonder, Hudson, can we get you to go to a Catholic church? Like on location, just to ask him what the updates are? Yeah, C. Smith was here day one. There's a lot of people here from day one. Satan is stylish as fuck. I'd like to get him in a Catholic church, just kind of get some updates, find out what's going on, you know?
Oh, hell
How's it
yeah.
going over here? I'm gonna play the rest of this, and I want to watch you watch it. I'm going out. It's not supposed to be funny.
Oh yeah! I know just where I'm going to. Heaven, oh yes.
He's risen from the dead.
He is risen from the dead.
I'm not a ghost.
I know that you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He is not here.
Each and every one of you
is very important to Jesus.
And this is Rebbit. So this is our first mod ever. That's Rebbit. That's what Rebbit looks like. You might have seen Rebbit in the chat earlier. I like to pick out people from the videos and assign them to chat members. And when I said this was Rebbit, within a second, Rebbit had this as her profile picture. Another little smart ass in here is fucking Tiff. Where are you, Tiff? Tiff Knox, for a while, anything I talked about, she'd fucking change her picture to something sassy. They all started changing their names too because they thought they were funny. Melissa changed hers to stop changing your screen names, god damn it. So at any moment, you need to be prepared, Abby, because they'll change their screen name and their picture up, and sometimes they'll make it you, and that's freaky. Fucking weird.
That's okay. Anybody can make me their picture. You know, I'm sure I'm gonna get like one of those fake accounts. Like what do they call it? Like the parody accounts?
A sock
I would
puppet.
love to have a Video Jesus parody account. Somebody should just do that for me.
Dude,
it would just never be as good as me though. It could
look,
never
Laura
compare.
says you two together is like synchronicity, and look, she's got a Hugin just like mine. Laura, would you be willing to parody Video Jesus? What are we gonna call your parody?
I don't maybe Video God. Or
Video
you know,
God.
Video
Audio
Mary.
God?
I don't or Video Judas. Somebody should
Video
create a Video
Judas.
Judas.
You know who'd
That'd
be
be
great at
so
that?
fun.
Satan. Satan,
Somebody
where are
should
you,
create a
Satan?
Video Judas.
Dude, we are hilarious. But listen, we're feral. What if Video Satan? Can we get Video Satan? I mean, look, if Hudson doesn't grab onto this, one of you, I can see Turd doing it. Jesus porn? God damn it, C. Smith.
Hey, as long as it's something evil, you know, I need to have like some good complementary
Fucking music.
Colors.
Yeah, no, we could do like a we could actually just take your Jesus picture and put horns on it.
Yeah, or a
What about
devil,
reverse
you know, it
Jesus?
needs to have like it needs to be like an opposite, you know.
You know what? We can learn from Canton. What if we flip all your what if we invert all your videos and we invert your Jesus picture, and that's inverted Jesus?
That's a good one. I like it.
But it's
I like that idea.
It's a thing, y'all. It's a thing. What is a thing? Jesus porn?
Is that a thing?
But how? I thought
No.
every immaculate conception isn't hot, or is it? Is that a fetish? Is there an immaculate conception fetish? Because if there is,
Hey, look, there's some weird porn out there. There's like some really weird topics. I've heard of some weird stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
dude, we could talk about it. I found pterodactyl porn before.
Shut that front door.
It's animatronic pterodactyls going quack, 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 and
No, you're lying.
No. Put it in your phone right now, but don't click on it. But type it in your phone right now. I guarantee you. And
There's
then go
no
to, like,
way. You're
images.
totally lying.
No.
Hold on.
No.
Hold on. I gotta do this. Hold on.
Do it. And I'm gonna thank the kids. Thank you, Dance Kinetics fan Miyabuto. Should
There's
we
no
show her
way this is a
Northport
real
Dance
thing.
Kinetics? We should. We should show her Bob. She doesn't know about me and Bob Wolfong, but she's going to, and we're gonna show her. We're absolutely gonna show her. We're gonna show her like the snow blower. Your mother was a snow blower. Get a haircut. You stand across the room from each other. Squirt? Yes, absolutely. I already have too many sock accounts. I'll check Pornhub. Thank you, Lola Bean. Do the OSINT for us. Remember, though, if you check Pornhub and you're in Texas, you will get fucking thrown in fire. You will get yeeted. Teriyaki parm? No, porn. Sorry, I can't read right now.
I mean, you're not wrong. I just Googled it. I did the Plevin thing and I Googled it and it like literally came up.
Immediately pterodactyl porn. And it's very famous. The amount, because dudes who are at the age where they're like looking up porn and stoked about it for the first time, it's around the same time they're really into dinosaurs. Like it had to happen.
That's a really good. That's logical.
Dinosaur.
That's
Eventually, there's going to
logical.
be just straight up dinosaur porn where it's just dinosaurs fucking and people are going to pay for it. But right now, they don't look real. And that's the problem. These guys want to see
Well, there is
real.
CGI. I mean, if you really want to make a lot of money, maybe that's what I'll do next. If I just want to make some quick cash, I'll just do like some cinema, 4D dinosaur porn,
If
just
you could
try to,
deep fake a dino dick to penetrate without it getting hurt. See, the problem is also it seems to me to
I feel
be
like
a
it'd be weird. Like, how
logistics.
would you even like model that? Like,
But
how do
that's
you
what I'm
know what
saying.
a
It's
dinosaur penis looks like?
logistical. You can't do dinosaur porn, Abby, because no dinosaur can mount a stegosaurus.
But how would you even know what their body parts look like? I mean, obviously you have like some reanimation, but do they really
Pictures
have
from
like
the
none?
Bible, dipshit. Didn't you see? They
That's
drew it.
true.
They explain it. Have you ever seen that? The Dinosaur Jesus Museum?
No.
There's a whole bunch of people in Kentucky and Texas who believe that the dinosaurs and people overlapped biblically. So when Joseph is walking around, like, where's my wife and my baby? And Mary's like, I need a manger. I got this fucking baby. Dinosaurs are like, "Wah!" And T-Rexes are fucking chasing him.
I'm not even going to doubt you right now because you just told me about pterodactyl porn. And I Googled it and it was real. So I'm
No, I'm
pretty
not
sure
saying
what you're
that's
saying
real.
is
I'm saying
completely
that's in the
accurate.
Bible. Like I'm essentially saying like this is a thing that according to them is in the Bible. Like this group. So you know how like L. Ron Hubbard has his Dianetics. So imagine if someone tweaked the Bible and was like, "Fucking, they're talking about dinosaurs right here," and then they made museums and like 40-acre farm where they're like doing reenactments, whipping Jesus, and there's fake dinosaurs around. Like that's a thing. I swear to Christ.
Oh my God. People, dude, the world's really crazy. Can we just like, I mean, there's flat earthers, there's pterodactyl porn, there's people that believe that, you know, humans and Jesus came from dinosaurs. I mean, what's next? What's next?
I mean, fucking gays getting married. No. Fucking Kentucky is so. I'm telling you, dude, there were people in that documentary about it. Is it Bill Maher? That were literally like, well, do you know why the dinosaurs and people didn't fuck? And then they had like wild explanations. And there's like a thing with like outtakes that you could watch. And like, it was literally people like, there's a reason why you don't see half people, half dinosaurs. Same reason that you don't see men and women together. Like there are people who like grew up on compounds and being gay is such a
People
sin that
are
they're
so
not allowed to
nuts.
know that that's happening, like in the world. And there's Christian scientists who get hit by fucking semis, and then they're like, "Well, you just have soggy bones now. You're not allowed to go to a doctor. It's illegal. You can't do it. It's against your religion."
I remember I dated this one guy. It was like right after college. And he was, you know, he was very attractive. He was a very attractive person, but he was so dumb. He was so dumb.
What
And
do
I
you think?
remember one time, like we like it was like maybe like, and it was just like a casual thing. So I think it was like the 10th time, like we went out for dinner or whatever. And he started telling me how he started following flat earthers and how he thought the earth was flat. And at that point, I just had to cut it off. I was like, yo, I'm going to be honest. This isn't going anywhere. And you think the earth is flat. Like, this is never going to work out. You're like,
Yeah. Religious is the documentary with Bill Maher. And dude, I've met in real life in Texas, I met people who are like, well, prove to me it ain't flat.
oh no, there are people out there. Like, he was trying to talk me into the earth was being flat. He said
Yeah.
point blank, well, did you know this? And no, do you even know that we went to space? The whole moon landing was fake. The earth is flat and you'll just fall off of it. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is so dumb. And look, I can deal with dumb people, but when you get to the point where you think the earth is legitimately flat, I just can't. I can't do it.
Also, like, so if they believe the moon or the earth is flat, then why don't they believe the moon is flat? Just because they can see it?
I have no idea. I asked him that. He's like, well, you know,
it's about perception.
It's all an illusion. Really? It's the government. They put these things in the sky, and I cashed out after 10 minutes of him talking about it. And I was trying to think to myself, should I like just bounce and not pay the bill? But I don't know if he's going to tip the waitress. So I ended up staying for 10 minutes.
People who believe the earth is flat don't tip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I didn't want the waitress to get screwed out of it. So I ended up just, you know, breaking it down right there and just saying like, hey, I'm going to pay the bill. Like, we're not going to talk again.
Dude, and Book of Mormon on Broadway is amazing. And I do have a rip of it. If anybody wants, we'll watch it one day. It's someone went and saw the original and with Trey and Matt, and they filmed it from their seat, and it's actually not that bad. Holy shit, that's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life, dude. And there were Mormon friends of mine that went and saw it who are offended at everything. And they're like, holy shit, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's so good.
So I've had friends that went to Broadway and they've seen like the Book of Mormon and they said it was really, really good.
It is. It's incredible. It is incredible. And like, I've only seen the rip of it, but my friends who saw it live are like, because they watched the rip of it, they're like, it doesn't do the justice. And they told me, they were like, you have to go see it. When we went there, we tried, dude. It'd been out for years and we still couldn't get a ticket. Like, it's still like fucking sells out everywhere. I didn't give a fuck about Hamilton. I was getting furious at the rewritten history. And it was like some of the raps were good. I really liked the King George, the guy from Mindhunters, fucking spitting and being like a fucking eccentric king. But like, I think Book of Mormon's like the best musical ever, next to Cannibal the Musical, which was written by the same two fucking guys. Did you ever see that?
No.
Dude, Trey Parker and Matt Stone are brilliant. When they were in college, they made a low budget movie called Cannibal the Musical, and it was all about the trek from Colorado into the mountains. What were they called? The Donner Party, and how they ate each other.
Okay.
But imagine if it was them and they were doing it to the tune of Oklahoma. So people eating each other, like abandoned in a snowy mountain, and they're Mormon and they're eating each other.
I mean,
and it's to the tune of Oklahoma.
It's probably a possible situation.
Orgasmo is also fucking incredible, and that's Mormons who go door to door.
The Mormon narration is apparently killing it.
Dude, what's the song? Turn it off like a light switch. Just go click that one song where it's all about stuffing your gay down inside. And then all the Mormon boys pop up in there in glitter vests and they're dancing, and it's all turn your feelings off like a light switch. When you feel gay, just go click. It's a neat little Mormon trick. And they're talking about turn your emotions off. Just pretend you're not gay. And then they do like
send me these video clips, because like I think this would just make me like happy when I'm really sad.
Dude, Hasadiga Eboi plays in my head 24/7 sometimes. And also basketball. You know what? Trey and Matt make the best everything. They're so fucking funny, dude.
They're really funny.
Fuck, dude. They're so good. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We got to, I did promise. We got to show you Bob Wolf. Do you know about Northport, Long Island dance kinetics? The white people of Northport, what they did in 1994?
No.
Okay, I can tell by your face you don't know. So this is the last thing we're going to watch before we talk about the topic.
But no matter how many...
Abby, I need you to know this man, still alive today, actually looks better, like more handsome, like 30 years later. Is a stand-up comedian, did a TED Talk. He's brilliant. She's fucking dead as shit. But these two, no, I'm just kidding. I don't know what happened to her.
I was about to say, I was like, oh God.
This is the type of shit he used to fuck around with. We're kind of obsessed with. Don't say no. Don't say no. You love this. So they pretend they don't like it. But it's basically how I waterboard them, metaphorically speaking. We're going to callous their insides, including their soul, by making them watch this. Because if you think people are out of pocket now, whether it's in real life or on Twitter, you haven't seen the white rich people of Northport, Long Island in 1994. This is what they do to relax. So we're going to show her. If she starts throwing up, we'll turn it off, okay? Here we go. Ready?
Anytime some people try this dance, they just can't seem to get it. But not this reporter, huh?
No two left feet for you.
That's right. Can you show me that move one more time?
Well, there are no mistakes, just variations.
Okay.
It goes like this. Swivel, swivel, kick, kick.
Okay, I think I got it. Okay.
Woo-hoo! No, that's a
Get
variation.
And stay with me, because I'm going to do one of these things.
This isn't even it yet. It's starting.
Okay, I think I got it. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
This is just a fun little dance to get you ready. All right,
Not quite.
here we go.
Nano says the technique helps people find their natural rhythm and encourages self-expression. The music varies as much as the movements. Students bounce, kick, and jump around to African, Latin, and rock music. They even climb on top of each other. One student says dance kinetics has benefited her more than she could have ever imagined. For an hour and 15 minutes, these students escape from their daily grind and leave feeling.
I have to pause it. I'd like you to just pay special attention real quick. Do you see what she's doing? She's throwing a suck it, Abby. She's throwing a fucking suck it at her haters. Okay? Because she's in kinetic dance, and this is how she expresses. Okay? She's expressing right now.
Kick and jump around to African, Latin, and rock music. They even climb on top of each other.
Listen, this could be FKR, but you guys playing. Okay? This could be us, but you all playing. All right? We could all be expressing together. But you just want to express on the walls and on your own carpet? You could be expressing on me and Abby, and we could be expressing on you. But everybody playing. We could all be moving together as one. Like the white people.
Maybe that's what we're doing wrong.
Dude, look at you. This is you. Okay. This is me.
That's definitely me.
Right? There's Nurse Kim. There's Aunt Dad. Like there's everybody. Okay.
For
Hell,
sure.
there's AI in the back there. Look, we could all be like this. Do you understand? These are all our haters. This is us. There's Turtle Boy, Papa Shot, like everybody. You kids, everyone could be in here together, just holding each other, vibing. Just vibing as one.
I think it's what we need to start doing this, you know?
Dude,
100%.
Do you know how hard it is to not say I have a dream?
Energy.
Dude, I'm telling you, one day we're all gonna be freak offing together. Do you see? We're all gonna be freak offing, all right?
Music varies as much as the movements. Students bounce, kick, and jump around to African, Latin, and rock music. They even climb on top of each other.
That woman's a little
One student says dance kinetics.
That right there, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's probably Uncle Mike. He's probably down there like, what the hell?
Has benefited
What the hell is wrong with these people?
Have ever imagined.
What do you mean what's wrong with them? Everything's right. This is how it's supposed to be.
It's true, because we're just trying to get the energy.
We're just trying to get the energy up. Look, this lady is, I think her back's actually gone out. I don't think they've noticed her yet. And I think she is having a moment.
It's getting down exercises, you know?
It's just a good, healthy way to like, is she pissing? Okay.
They even climb on top of each other.
Look at their
One
tiny.
student
Ew,
says
I didn't
dance
notice the
kinetics
feet
has
before. Did
benefited
she
her.
just bite his fucking heel? Wait, what?
I think
I always noticed something. Did she bite his heel? What was why are those feet so tiny? Oh, I hate them, but look at how little they are. Okay.
Rock music. They even climb on top
Bite
of
a
each
heel.
other.
Hold on.
One student says dance kinetics has benefited her more than she could have ever imagined.
No, it looks like
For
she's
an
biting
hour
his
and 15
ass.
minutes.
We're never watching this again.
Oh my god, it looks like an ass biting.
I think she bit a foot.
Oh, it's funny.
This is banished. This is out of the lexicon. We're never gonna watch this again. I think she got too close to that foot. I never noticed it before. I also don't like how they abandoned her after making her pull her back out. Leave her alone. I actually. We will watch this part because I like how the purple lady runs across real quick. She just jaunts. Oh, there she goes. All right, we're done. So, sorry, I watched that on my own. Abby, we're gonna play a little game with you today. This is why you're here.
Okay.
You like nerd shit.
Mm-hmm.
I like nerd shit.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like we're on different side of the nerd shit though. Like my job typically is to, like when I'm doing the DMCA cybersecurity shit, it's to find torrents. To be honest, it's like what I'm doing. I'm trying to track down torrenters and get those shut the fuck down for a company that's trying to keep its streaming service exclusive. What does this mean? If you guys, one's in the chat if you've ever torrented something. Now, if you don't know, I'll explain it briefly, but it's basically when people called seeders take something illegally, they download it. It'd be the equivalent of putting in a tape in your VCR and recording it, and how most of them say, don't share this with people or don't fucking rip this tag off the pillow or you're going to prison. So people would obviously steal all the time. Okay. So when LimeWire and Napster came around, one of the ways that they would put music out is it would break it up into thousands of tiny pieces. And that way, what you have is you have a lot of tiny downloads that are hard to trace. And then the person who took that one original download and broke it up, puts it on the internet, and it goes into this software thing. Some people will call it like, it depends on what engine you're using or what software, but some people it's just a forum. You might have a BitTorrent, you might have Pirate Bay, you might use LimeWire for music back in the day. But what happens is other people come and they're leechers. And if there's one seeder who's got one file, basically what they're doing is they're giving it out to people for free, but it's going to take a long time to download it because they've got to put it all back together. So if you ever saw I Heart Huckabees, or if you ever think of particles, imagine you have to get a cassette tape, a physical cassette tape through a hole this big. What do? You smash it and you put little bits through, and then somebody takes it on the other end, puts it together, and then makes copies of it. So that's essentially like images of what a torrent is. And my job is to find those and go, you fucking stop that. Now, Abby.
That's pretty technical.
Abby, you're kind of like the process, the software, the function. You're someone who can see those particles and you can see things in them. You can go, and we can both see metadata. We both understand extraction, but you know every tiny little part. And I think that what I can gather is you know how to create the video, how to blow up the video, how to change the video, how to manipulate it, edit it, do all kinds of things with it, but also you can reverse engineer footage, which is something.
So it's basically.
Yeah. A lot of people can't do. It's kind of hard. It's very technical.
It's I would say it's a pretty unique skill for people that do video editing, because a lot of people just video edit. I was on the reverse of that. So my first job out of college, I used to work for Avid Technologies. So I used to, which actually WWE was one of our clients. So they used our non-linear editing software. So I actually was on the phone with them quite some time. Like when I say they were stress editors.
What year was this?
This was 2012. 2014, yeah.
I feel like the mentalist, dude. I was literally thinking in my head, don't say 2012. Yeah, they were stressed. That was when Daniel Bryan.
They were very stressed.
Daniel Bryan choked a guy on TV. They almost killed a guy on TV, and they almost got fucking shut down forever. Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh, maybe that's why they were mean, man. They would call all the time, and they would do stupid stuff with their footage. Like with this one editing software that I used, it's a lot different from.
Was it a guy named Canyon Seaman? Was that the guy who called you? I should probably beep that out later. He was one of the head guys. Him and Canyon. First of all, his name is Canyon Seaman. Jesus Christ. He was one of the guys fired. He used to fire all the talent, but he was also in charge of a lot of different things, but he was a micromanager, and him and Kevin Dunn and a couple of other people, I believe, were in charge. Kevin Dunn would have been the ultimate guy to talk to. He was the producer for up until a year ago, and he looked like Buck Teeth. He was a fucking prick. He used the same old camera. He was obsessed with the old way. He never changed anything. Now
Kevin Dunn, I remember him. There was like too many people I talked to, and they just had the worst. So if you look at a program now, so like Premiere, Adobe products are very prosumer. And I say they just assume that you're stupid and you don't know what you're doing. So it's just the functionality of it isn't, I would say, at like a professional level. Avid, on the other hand, so if you have Premiere, you can store files in different places. It's not very good for organization, but Avid will store, basically transcodes all the files. It will store it in one media file folder. And a lot of the times these editors would go in and try to change the folder structure and change the pointers. So Avid has a very specific ordering structure of the folder. So it's like the Avid media folder, there's folder 1, folder 2, folder 3, folder 4. And if you change folder 1 to, I don't know, dailies 1, the pointer won't point to it. You have to keep the naming convention. So these people at WWE used to change the folder names, and they were wondering why all the footage went offline. And I'm like, you can't change the folders. You can't change the naming convention.
You're
This is
talking
what
about
they're there for.
when it was online, like they changed it's essentially like changing the URL and not getting rid of the old page.
Basically, yeah, but in an editing
Okay.
system. Kind of
Damn.
it's exactly like that, but it's in video editing software. So it's
You know what's
similar to
interesting?
that.
It's the same with so I work more. I think you're more of a genius at video than I'll ever be. I work with audio a lot. Audio is very similar in that, like, if it's going in an order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right?
Mhm.
And you change 5 to dog farts, it's now going to put that at the top. It's going to it's literally, and then everything else gets bumped down, and now everything's out of order and fucked. And like one simple little change can affect fucking everything. So on newer stuff, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, with audio, it's this way. Like there's simple, basic, old school shit, which I would say is what like the WWE used and shit. Like Audacity for audio would be the equivalent of the video capabilities of Kevin Dunn era WWE. But like something newer like Ableton or like Audacity and Fruity Loops would be back in the day, and now there's Ableton. And there's goddamn so many, but there's also a lot of AI shit. There's like,
I hate AI stuff.
everything's
I hate
generated.
it.
Oh God. And now AI is going to change video a lot too. But with audio, you can do everything manually and you can get that crisp sound like old school rap, Dr. Dre and shit. Like when producers in hip hop started getting really big, is because they could tweak little individual things or take out a fuzz or add an echo. But now everything kind of is all inclusive and auto generated, and it gets rid of the authenticity. With video, is that something that you can see with the naked eye, or is that something like, is it like Fight Club when you're looking at these Sallyport videos in reference to Karen Reed? Like, is it like boom, flash, you just subliminally saw some porno? Or is it something like how Microdots was showing on his video, how there's just a little skip? Can you explain that to people what that is, I guess?
Yeah. And forgive me if I overcomplicate this because I tend to do that from,
I'll tell you
a
what,
tech.
you take the floor, give your explanation, and then I will give a shortened version in a wrestling metaphor.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a few things. So again, my background is more, so I do the video editing and video, but I also have the troubleshooting end of it, which is very specialized. I also like worked at YouTube. So, Google Play, I don't know if you've heard of it, where they, a lot of production houses will upload their videos and stuff. So I used to troubleshoot Google Play back in the day too. So there's a few little things that you can see as far as compression artifacts. So initially, even when I watched the Sallyport, immediately I noticed that there was cuts. So there was a lot of
jump
cuts.
cuts.
You'll see this with motion activation. Like
it
would almost, the camera at the Sallyport, if it was motion activated, which 100% it was not because I tested the camera, it would just cut on active motion. Motion security cameras don't do that. You know what I mean? Even if you have the motion parameter set, they're usually pretty highly sensitive. I have another motion activated camera it's like a crappy Xfinity camera. And that thing, literally, if a bug goes by it, it will go off. And it will stay recording for X period of time. That stuff doesn't really happen with security cameras. But even, despite that, you also see a lot of these compression artifacts. So there's something called in every algorithm. So
with the compression artifacts, I just want to explain real quick. Like when we're talking about compression, we're talking about almost like if you've ever taken a bulk amount of files and then made them a zip file, for example.
Yeah, like very small.
So remember we were talking about shit gets broken up into little bits so you can fit it through the hole, right? And then you put it back together. Compressing something would be like taking those tape bits and going and just squeezing the tape tiny until it fits through the hole. So you're like compressing it, but it also can change the quality. Correct? Am I?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that's really where it gets really interesting for me. So if you look at the actual Sallyport footage, which is why I got the camera, because when we're watching it in court, we're watching it from a camera filming a TV screen. So it's really hard to tell if those compression artifacts are real or maybe they're a little bit blurry because of the camera that's recording them. So
Mhm.
that's really why I wanted to check it. I
Oh,
kind
and
of
tell them
analyzed.
what you did though before. Oh, I fucked up. I should have asked you this first. Will you
What?
tell them about the camera you bought? Like what you did. For you guys who don't know, we're talking about the Karen Reed trial. I'm a fucking shitty host. We're talking about the
Well,
Karen Reed
I'm bad
trial.
at text. I mean, I'm bad at explaining like highly technical stuff. So.
Well, Abby basically figured out a big, like, we knew little parts of it. We knew the video had been inverted. We didn't know why. I always thought that it was the same as with Richard Allen. If you saw his, and I'm not talking about I have my opinions on that. I think he's fucking good. But anyways, when they showed the bridge guy walking across, they were taking a picture of a screen. So imagine your fucking TV is playing and you walk up with your phone and take a picture of the TV screen. That's essentially how they filmed the bridge guy footage. They filmed it with a phone. So in a way, depending on what program they used and what kind of phone, the video could come out mirrored. Just like if you take a picture and you see it, or not even take a picture, you're recording here, everything might look flipped, but you don't really notice it, if that makes sense. So like right now I'm picking up my right hand, but I'm viewing it on the screen. As I'm looking at it, it's on my left side. So when you're mirroring an image back or recording an image that's already there, some programs will just flip it. And I always thought that's why it was flipped. That's what I thought. I thought that the images in the Sallyport in the Karen Reed trial were flipped because this person was filming the screen. And there were big questions about, is this edited? Because when it's flipped, it gives you the illusion that the tail light is on an opposite side. So what Abby did was Abby went out. She wanted to do some scientific tests, which a lot of you guys have been sending me emails about. You're going to do your own, and they're amazing. And I'm not going to spill anybody's beans, but everybody's got these different experiments they want to do because they're specialized in different things. Abby specialized in video. So she bought the exact camera, right? That's in the Sallyport.
Yeah, so I looked through the
Okay,
town
go
of
on.
Canton, and I had actually a lot of people on my like early followers of mine that initially I found this one invoice from 2019, and usually, especially with town, town budget stuff, they usually don't stray away from different vendors. So, if you're using an Axis vendor, you're going to keep using an Axis vendor. So I did find a town of Canton budget record that cited the 3045V Axis camera. So that was the most recent one that I could find. And it's actually a pretty outdated camera, but Axis cameras are really good. And another follower that I had actually sent me, I guess somebody went into the Sallyport and took a recording of it. And it looked exactly like that one 3045E camera. So I was pretty sure that I was on point. So I think the camera that I got was very close. So I had to get it on eBay. So I bought it on eBay. I had to buy a PoE switch.
How much
they're
was it? How
networking
much is
cameras.
one of these?
I mean, I probably spent like $800.
That's not bad though. There's
No, I
security
mean-
cameras at the fucking mall that cost 2 G's. So like that's not bad. But I mean for a police
It was an
officer-
older camera, and with the PoE switch, it was probably around like 800. It wasn't bad. It actually was pretty affordable considering. And you know what? You can always repurpose it after.
And
Right off the
how
taxes.
this is a 2019 camera?
So it was purchased. It was purchased in 2019, but
Okay.
I think the manufacturer it came out in like 2016. I could be totally wrong. I know I have that information somewhere, but it is an older model camera. So a lot of the
potentially
newer cameras.
you're doing these experiments with like a 9-year-old camera essentially because that's what they had.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So they don't even really sell them. So you have to actually buy them on eBay, which was kind of half the problem with like bidding on it. I'm not good at eBay. So
This
I finally
is
found
wild
one.
though.
Well, the thing is that even the lowest resolution security cameras, they're not bad these days. You know what I mean? They're not that bad. And those artifacts in the Sallyport, and when I say artifacts, you know how you had that blurred image?
Yes. Sorry, my chair fell down again. I'm sinking.
And usually with highly compressed files, so if you have a really high compression, which you would use for a security camera for storage purposes. So say you're keeping these files for more than 30 days, which by the way, I think that whole thing is bullshit.
Absolutely, because
it's
fucking
so bullshit. I
Target
mean,
is
they had to have
7 years.
backed it up on a server.
First of all, I have so much to say about that. I'm not going to go off on a big rant right now, but I'll tell you this much. There are other cases in Massachusetts that required video camera footage from police stations, believe it or not. This is a very common thing. And I remembered, I go, surely this cannot be. Don't call me Shirley, because I remember in my crime scene forensics class, we talked about number one thing you do, protect the crime scene, shut it down. Okay. Number 2 thing you do is make sure that you document the fuck out of everything, keep a log of everything and every single person who comes through. And number 3, immediately get witnesses and try to canvass the area. Like, that's it. That's boom, boom, boom. Those 3 simple things. None of that was done properly. It was Jean Monnet level fucked up as far as the amount of people trampling through it. Sure, it wasn't the best conditions, but you can't tell me in a place where it snows so goddamn much, they've never dealt with this issue before. And I find it very fucking shocking that almost every police department in the country follows a procedure, a policy, or a practice where no matter what the case, who the person is, if you are arresting someone, that camera better be fucking on when you enter the booking area, when you go into the garage to get the inmate out and take them into booking. That needs to, like, always, it needs to be recorded. There's no way out of it. There's always a camera on the evidence room, and there's always an evidence log. Always. It's unheard of for it not to be. But with that said, even the most piss poor departments in fucking lower eastern fucking West Virginia, in the shittiest towns in Texas and Kentucky, in the most podunk parts of the U.S., almost all of them preserve all data that has to do with the cameras at their own station up to 7 years. Just like Walmart. It's the least they can fucking do.
And the files aren't that big either. So especially the EXE files. So those are the executable files within the Equivision. So Equivision is basically like a client. Yeah, it's basically like a client manager. So when I talk about Equivision, I'm talking about, I call it like a fetch and retrieve. You know, so it basically records the video in a certain format and it talks to the different interface. So it will talk to the camera, it writes the file, and then it puts it in an EXE file, which is where that time code lives too. So,
which is like a timestamp, basically.
Yeah, it's a timestamp, but you can't. The interesting thing about which I can get into that later, but I'll just go switch back to the whole why the Sallyport's kind of fake. But so anyway, so usually if you're storing these files, you're going to have it on a higher compression setting. You'll probably do 15 frames per second because 30 frames per second is going to make that file size a little bit larger. And so when you do have a higher compression setting, you will see, and especially if it's really compressed, you'll see square pixelation, which we don't see anywhere in that video at all. We see very smooth edges, but we see this blur mask. And you can actually see the lines in the Sallyport where the blur mask is. And if you actually look at it in between where that dummy is, so there's like in the middle of the dummy, it's super sharp. It's super sharp. And then the rest of the edges around it are very blurred. So it's almost like a linear blur mask, which is very unnatural. And if it was just really poor quality, for instance, like pixelation, you see like square pixels. If you think about Minecraft.
Isn't the blur like also one of the signatures of AI nowadays? So even though it's not, it can still be really confusing because it makes it look on the edges almost like this is not real. But in reality, it's just poor quality.
Well, I actually think it was done in post, to be honest.
Really?
Because I got that camera. And that camera in my apartment, so I did a couple of tests. And I did post it on my Twitter. So I did measurements of, so this particular camera can get facial recognition from about 15 feet. So you can see like somebody's face, like a clear face, facial recognition.
Okay, I thought you were talking about biometrics. I was like, there's no fucking
No,
way.
so like if you're 20, it's more like an app, like a depth of field, right? So if you're 15 feet from the camera, you should see facial features, which I kind of did a rough outline of just, again, I'm just eyeballing it. But I did a rough outline of like distance to the camera. And in that Sallyport, you should see a lot of detail just from where the Sallyport is. And especially because a couple of my followers sent me a another video of somebody actually like kind of going into the Sallyport and like, you know, doing a little screen recording. So that kind of helped with the measurements, a little bit of accuracy. But you should see some kind of facial features. You should see detail, at least 5 feet, you know, 5 to 10 feet. And in that Sallyport, you don't really see anything. I mean, you see a lot of blur, and it's a lot of unnatural blur that wouldn't really occur with the lens type that's on that camera and that camera manufacturer itself. So that tells me that, again, this was probably post-processed. So you can do that in After Effects. You basically just put a mask around the video, do a little Gaussian blur, done.
Wait, this is a little different than what I was thinking earlier when we talked, but it makes more sense this way. So essentially, it would be like running the whole picture through a blur filter, but the video, and it was manually done. So it's actually not what we think. I mean, it could still be like, right, like there's the mirror flip, and then there's reasons for that. But is that maybe a distraction, like a red herring? Like, be concerned with the video being flipped so you don't notice the blur?
I think it's both. So I think the blur mask was done so you wouldn't be able to see who is actually in the frame. I think that was intentionally done. And I say also, like, that blur mask, again, if there was pixelation, so think of Minecraft. If there was some pixelation there, that could be some kind of compression artifact, right? Or it could have been like a dirty lens, but we didn't really see any of that. So we didn't see any of that square pixelation. So it's definitely not a compression artifact. It's a post-processed artifact, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, because, you know, I think the best way to test this, honestly, which you've probably already thought of, but if you kids want to, if you want to see it make more sense, I think the simplest way to explain it really and to show it in general would be very simple with Paint. You would open Microsoft Paint and you would just do like a circle, right? And you do maybe do a couple of squiggles, or you could just take a picture, a low quality looking picture, copy paste it into Microsoft Paint, right? Then you open another paintbrush and put it next to it. So you have two openings. You have one with the copy pasted picture, and then you copy paste the same picture. So you have two replica pictures, and then you just hit blur on one. Yeah. And then you zoom in as far as you can and look at them, and you see the differences in the pixels.
Yeah, so it's basically, so in a nutshell, that's kind of what I did. And I'm gonna also this weekend, I'm gonna put together, I already told you, kind of a breakdown of the findings. And I've done a little bit of this, but I'm gonna go a little bit more into detail just to make it a little bit more easier to understand.
Yeah,
but
don't blow all your load now.
What?
Don't blow all your load now. Save the good shit for later. But
yeah, I mean, we're just like spitballing now, but basically that's where I came to with, so the blur. So you see those ghosting artifacts in the Sallyport?
Yeah.
Those are indicative. So I could not replicate that with that camera. I mean, there was one time where there was a jump in network, like, so there was a jump and the internet dropped, and I got a little bit of that, and that was on action. So my cats were eating, I think Brutus was running around, and I got a little tiny bit of a ghosting. But that was just because my internet dropped. So when you see the Sallyport, it's so prominent that it's not even that it's a network drop. I think it's honestly like a frame reordering. So when you add and remove frames, it's something called like a group of pictures. So there's an inner frame, which is the main frame, and then the predictive frame and the bidirectional frame. So the predictive frame and the bidirectional frame basically look at the inner frame, so the first frame, and they predict the motion of the next one. So when you go into an editing program, so like say if you go into After Effects or Premiere and you're working with a 15 frame per second video and you add frames, that's where you're going to get that ghosting trail. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's like a visual representation of a tracer almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, yeah. So think of it as how you see some of those GIFs online on Twitter. Oh, that's kind of the GOP, or it's kind of similar. You take a bunch of pictures, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of predicting the movement of the next frame. So they take the one main frame and it's almost like a repeated sequence. And so the more frames that you add, so if I am filming something at 15 frames per second, it's going to have a certain GOP ordering of, 15 frames. When you start adding frames, that's when you're going to get that tail, like that ghosting tail that you see.
This
and that
makes so much
happens.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a
So
better
you get
idea.
it. I'm sorry if I'm
Yeah.
overcomplicating it. I'm trying to
No,
keep
you're
it
not at
simple.
all. This actually dumbed it down enough to where I'm like, oh, okay. Now it's clicking. So, okay. Do you know about the Jennifer Kessie case out of
No.
Florida? She was like, she's a lady who, her apartment, she was in it. And then the next thing you know, she's not. And everybody thinks, it's the maintenance guy. It's this person. It's that person. It's the other. She's disappeared. She's been gone since early 2000s. They have a little bit of camera footage, and this is like, I want to say 2005 to 8, somewhere around there, maybe even sooner, but or older. But what's interesting is I believe that footage, the frame rate is 7 per second.
Yes, and that's where you're gonna get.
Let's look at that footage, because that's 7, right? And then let's look at better.
Yeah, that's a great example.
Because I think, okay, so what do you think would be the equivalent? Like, how many frames per second? You said 15?
So 15 frames per second. So natively, so the reason why I think it's After Effects is I don't know if you've seen the microdots video of the taillight of the white.
Mm-hmm.
The white taillight, where it's just very unnatural with the there's no glow. It doesn't have what you would normally see with a taillight. It doesn't have any kind of glow. It's very flat. That's where I say it was definitely edited in a motion graphics program. So Premiere actually works pretty good with low frame rate. So if you put a video in Premiere, it will export it at 15 frames per second. The one downfall of After Effects is that it really has a hard time with rendering out a 15 frames per second video. So it'll make it like 29.97 frames per second or 59.9 frames per second. So that's almost its native export. So that's when it starts to add frames. Of course, you can also do that in Premiere if you take a 15 frame per second video and you export it as 29.97. But especially the newer versions of Premiere, you can almost kind of keep that frame rate so it doesn't look like you don't get those artifacts. But in a motion graphics program, which is what you would use for some of the things that I think happen in that video, that's where you're going to get that those frame handling, the frame handling of like the ghosting, if that makes sense.
Well, let's do this. Let's answer Leah's question, and I have a video to show you that I just found that's actually, I think, a better example than the Jennifer Kessie video. It's security camera frame per second examples. And
yes, that's perfect.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
So it's 7.5, 15, and 30, which is very common for video. It's kind of like tennis, how it's like 5, 15, 30, 40 love. It's kind of like, where did these random fucking rules get? It's just how it's done, people. Okay, it's just how it's done. It's like a half-life for some reason for 3 of them, and then the lowest form, it just goes from 7.5 to 1. I don't know why. This is just how every 6 years they upgrade the technology and it gets a little faster. It doubles. Leah says, now I want to know how to reverse engineer and show what and who did this. Is that possible? This has to do with something they are historically bad at. This is my opinion. I'm just going to give one sentence answer, and then Abby can say the rest, whatever she thinks. I personally think that it's not so much reverse engineering that needed to be done by them. That's kind of something that we would need to do, right? For them, they were fucking it up, right? So then the guy who they paid to go there was given the fucked up shit. And his job isn't actually to put it back together. He was sent there to get the original unfucked shit. Yeah. And they said, no, all we have is the fucked up shit. So it's the equivalent of if you went to a restaurant and you were told they have the best fucking cheesecake. You have to get this cheesecake. You have to get the strawberry cheesecake, and you have to get New York style strawberry, the whole cake. And you have to just trust me, get a fresh one. And you go there and you say, listen, I'd like my cake, please. And then they hand it to you and it's just got a fucking fist right in the middle of it. And it's moldy. and they hand it to you and you go, this is not the cheesecake that I fucking wanted. And they go, we fixed it. We put our fist in it. And then you say, yeah, but this isn't what you advertised. Can I get the one you advertised? And then they go, that's it. And you're like, no, here's the advertisement. There's no fucking fist in it. And it's not moldy. My friend said it's delicious. And also here's a picture of what it's supposed to, and it doesn't look like that. And they go, that's all we got. Fuck you. Like, that's pretty much what happened here. They were given the busted ass version of something and told it was the original. So in reverse engineering it, I think that you would typically go to, metadata, hash data, exif data, whatever information is locked inside that shit. And that really depends on what extractor tools you have and how good you are. But you can extract something that has been forever deleted, and then whatever is left of it is only changed. Because once you change it, you can then make a copy of the changed one, and then the one that you actually changed, throw that out. So now you no longer have the history. It's like if you make a copy of a Google Doc, right? And you throw out the original, you no longer have that history to go backwards on. So I think that's what they did. And what they're historically bad at is logs. Oddly enough, this is not the first time they don't have a log. The difference is all the other logs, right? They forgot, or they fucked up, or they just didn't do. These they had, and they chucked them in the fire. They put them in they went to an Air Force base, a military base, and they threw it in the trash and said, I'm Brian Higgins.
Yeah.
How do you reverse engineer that? You can't. Or can you, Abby?
Well, so the major thing that's important here to understand too is that, which is what I think the defense got, is probably like an AVI file or an MP4 file. So they did not get the EXE file, because if they got the EXE file out of Equivision, it's a super easy thing in the Equivision media player. You literally go to, it's like a tab in there. It's like right next to file. Actually, I think it might be the file. It's like file authenticate. So these, this software specifically uses two types of encryption. So you really can't rewrite the file, and it's its own proprietary file. So they use a file called EVX. So that's basically what we would call. So think of like an MP4, right? So that's like kind of like we'll just call it a wrapper, like in a sense. The Equivision uses its own file extension. So that's going to be the EX or EVX. That's going to be the EVX. And that EVX has encryption data in it. So you can't change the file. So I couldn't bring that EVX file into Premiere. I couldn't bring it into After Effects. I can't export it because it's not an editable file. And it has encryption. So I wouldn't be able to play it, even if I did manage to change it. So say I was able to, wipe the EXIF, which is kind of the data file, and I was able to wipe the XML and change the XML and duplicate it, which I'm not saying that's not a possibility. So it's probably a 3% possibility that somebody would have enough skill to do that. That's why I think that the whole thing was kind of like a screen recording. So think of a Loom video. If you've ever shared your desktop or shared what you're doing on a desktop, that's what I think is what we saw in court. Was a desktop.
But I just need to clarify. Are you talking EVX or EVTX? Like, is there a log there with the EVX, like an event log, or is that EVTX?
Yes. So there's
EVTX
pointer
is
file.
more updated, right?
Well, so that's just the video type, right? So there's the video type and then the executable file. Think of the executable file as a container, right? So if I'm putting food into a container, there's going to be a lot of different food elements in there, right? The actual video stream file is an EVX. So it's like its own proprietary extension. So think of it as like an AVI file or MP4 file.
Okay,
right?
so the EVX file is like Streamlab storing it in your library, and then the EVTX is like what's on YouTube presented to the public, like manipulated.
So it's just so for example, if I made a video of my cat, right, and I exported it as an MP4, it would just be an MP4 extension.
Yes.
Conversely, if I had a I took a video on the Axis camera, and I was recording it in Equivision, it's gonna, instead of being an MP4, it's gonna be an EVX. The EVX is gonna be in a container that's an executable file, so it's gonna be in EXE. And in that container file is gonna be the video stream file, which is the EVX file. There's going to be the timestamp. There's also going to be the player embedded in that file. Does that make sense? It's almost like kind of like a sandwich container.
And we've talked about this before. If you ever get a file that is .exe, then that's essentially going to be something you don't want to click unless you're ready to download a program and allow it to change everything on your desktop. So this is a really good point. Leah, thank you for the question. Essentially, when you're reverse engineering, you're going to have to either use, I mean, I would even say you could use various programs to do that, but you would still have to have the history. So the event log, which is basically like an activity log in most social media forums, but imagine it's video. So it's like in Discord, for example, it's like this person booted this person gave a link to this person. Imagine inside every root file, you've got that list, almost like when you're extracting cell phones, you have a wall and data wall. Okay, you've got the same thing in video files, right? But and how we were talking about everything when you're making a torrent, it's all broken up, and then you need a program to put it back together and a codec that's going to help form that. And if that doesn't match up with the program, or if it's not built in, you're going to have little chunks that are kind of fucking wonky, right? Everything kind of has to work together. So if you're reverse engineering, I guess, a video, and I'm not the best at this, I fuck with it, but mostly audio. So with video, I'd imagine, and also with torrents, it used to be very manual. So that's kind of why I remember this. Like, you used to have to do this yourself. Like, this is how far we went in the 90s to steal. Like, we're like, okay, I guess I'll learn all these clickety gibberty words. But once you get it put back together again, it's just like, it's just like a mini mall. Check it. I'm so sorry. It's like if you break something and then you look at you take a puzzle that's already done, you smash it on the ground, and then you have to look at the picture to put it back together again. You're kind of doing that bit by bit, but you have to make sure it's flowing, and you have to replay it and replay it and replay it.
It has to be perfect.
It's got to be perfect. And if you miss the slightest thing, if the slightest little bit is off, then you get a little jump take. I think it's a lot like, no, I'm not gonna do that again. It's like when a person is making a video and it's like, and I just want to say to everyone, and then it goes, and then they're over here and they're like, that and then it's like, I feel that it's a jump cut almost. You can get jump cuts that you accidentally fuck up the video file. So there's some that will go backwards, and then there's some that you have to kind of see who did this. You know what I mean? At what time did they do this? If they wipe those logs, then you no longer really have a history of who did what. It's kind of like if they took all the fucking list of who handled this evidence and threw it out a fucking window. But they did that.
And so a lot of and that's where I talk about the container, right? So there's pointer files. So if you change, again, if I wanted to change the video around, if theoretically I wanted to cut something here, cut something there, and say, again, because these specific file types, Premiere, graphic editor program, they won't ingest them. So if I wanted to, which I did actually, I actually ended up changing a file enough that I was able to play it in Equivision until I crashed the program, until I corrupted it. But for example, what I did is, so AVIs and MP4s will not play in the Equivision media player, which is what we saw, what we think we saw in court. So if I wanted to play an AVI file, it's not going to play it. It will only play those executable files, so the EXE container files. But say I wanted to export an AVI to give to the defense, right? It's not going to have that time code in it. And I tested that too. So you know how we saw the time code on the bottom? If you export it as an AVI, it's not going to put the time code on the video. It's only going to put the time code on the video if it's an EXE file, because that EXE file contains the time code within that little container and that little sandwich package.
Did you have a log parser or anything, or does that not work on these?
I didn't. I honestly I
I hate
didn't
to
really
bring up
check.
dinosaurs again, but what about Velociraptor? Because it is
I
a
didn't.
good program. I don't know if
I
it'll
mean,
work for that, but
well, here's the thing too. So you'll have some of that information in the container, but you also
Mhm.
have it in the program itself. So for example, if I open up Equivision and it will say, okay, at this time, this was recorded, I logged in at this time. That's actually within the actual program file. So
Okay.
that's where I'm saying they actually probably deleted those logs manually within the program file. That way they shut
Okay.
down the program. They went into the root of the program file. They literally manually deleted the
Logs folder.
files.
The
Yeah, the
logs
logs.
folder. So they
Yeah,
went and they
because
found logs folder, which is it's always going to be under logs.
yes,
Always.
yes, you understand me. Yes.
Okay, so here's what they did,
And that way it
everyone.
wouldn't be tracked by the program.
Let me
Because
explain
if you
this
did it
in
in the
wrestling
program, it
terms.
would
I
be tracked.
finally fucking get it. Okay, this is actually way bigger than I thought. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So when you
So yeah, I've
when you
kind of
were
figured most
talking
of it
about
out.
it, we were in dummy mode. So when we were talking about it earlier, I was like, but how would they do that? I don't know why I flaked on this, but I forgot it is just like audio. You can just delete the log event folder. You can delete all the logs. You could just do that.
You'd have
In
to shut
cell
down
phone
the program.
extraction. Yeah.
You'd have to shut down the program first, though. So these programs are very, because again, it's like I call it a fetch and retrieve.
Yeah.
In simple terms, the fetch and retrieve program. So if you change anything inside the program itself, so say I wanted to delete the logs, it's
Okay.
going to, within the program interface itself, it's going to show me Abby deleted this, right? Because I did it
Yeah.
within the program. But if you go to the folder and you shut down the program, right? You go in the folder, you literally delete the activity logs,
Mhm.
and there's a database file in there, like a database pointer file. What you do is you copy that database pointer file, you copy it to a separate folder, you delete it, and then you add it back in.
So
And
it
that way
is
it will
like
refresh.
fucking
It will
A.
refresh it.
I'm a dummy. I get it now. Okay, so it is literally like, okay,
Yeah.
try this, everyone. This is the metaphor, and then we'll do a wrestling one. Okay, you've got a Google document, right? You open Google Docs, you type, right? Then you open, you know what? We'll just do it live. Because this makes a lot of sense. Like it makes sense now. Okay. So basically, with a lot of these different programs, especially with audio, you can go back, and with photos, you can go back and you can change shit in it. One time we talked about how you can go into the tools and you can open up all of the information in your tools and you can change it with actual HTML code. And what you're seeing on the screen when you change it is going to pop up for anyone that clicks that link, even if it's not really what's there, if that makes sense. So if you have New York Times article, you can go into up here, you would click like the three dots. I'll show it to you guys. It's not going to let me show up, but you would go to like more tools, or you could go to settings. There's really a couple of different ways you could go to it, but you could basically open up and inspect, and that's going to show you everything, all the code for everything you point to on the page, right? So when you do that, there's I wish I could show it, but it would show all my private shit because it would have to show all that. So you would basically go and you would go to inspect, and then you open that and it gives you all this gibbery babble on the side, right? So you would go and you scroll over the part on the page that you want to change. So if you scroll over the headline, which is dog bites man, right? You scroll over that, and when you look in the inspect folder on the side that you've opened up in your panel, it's going to highlight where that is in the code.
Yeah.
Then you go click on that and it's going to expand it. And then you see all the code below. And then you go in and you highlight the words dog bites man and you type in man bites dog or bird bites dog. That's good. Bird bites dog. And then you hit enter. And then you take that URL, copy paste it, send it to someone. When they click it, they're going to get the exact same page, New York Times article, everything. But theirs is going to say bird bites dog. So it's manipulated. It's only temporary, but it's kind of how people say they swayed the election a couple of times. Because you could imagine changing any headline. You could, instead of saying Justin Thoreau or Justin Trudeau, whatever his name is, had a black face, they could change it to Clinton, and then boom, it looks legit. It's on the New York Times. You could fuck with people that way. You can do the same with audio and video. So if you were to open a Google Doc, right, and you type in fuck me, and then I send it and share it with Abby, right? Now we both have a document we can access that says fuck me. Now Abby takes it, makes a copy, and the original, which she has full editorial power over, she deletes, throws in the trash, then she goes to the trash and empties the trash. So instead of having 30 days to pull it back out of the trash, it's now gone forever. And all Abby has is that one copy that's titled copy of blah, blah, blah. Change that name to blah, blah, blah. Now it looks like the original file. It's titled the original file. It's
Yes.
the same people. Everything looks the same. But if you go click on history or previous versions, nothing exists. That's what they did to the video.
Yes. So, I mean, that's really where I think that, so again, when we're talking about AVIs and MP4s, these specific type of files don't play in Echovision Media Player, which is why I say I think that what we saw in court was a screen recording. So think about Loom, or if we're sharing your screen on, again, this stream, you're sharing your desktop. That's what I think that we were seeing. But it was, you know, again, it was almost like they were screen capturing the Echovision Media Player playing this file, right? So basically they're just making an MP4 of this or an AVI of it, just screen capturing the Echovision Media Player playing this file from I can't remember what the date was, like the 29th, 129 or 2022.
So it's
right?
like when they had fake Kane. It's when Kane and the Undertaker, or no, it was Kane and Razor Ramon. They had Razor Ramon had a drug problem and Kane hurt himself. So they said, what are we gonna do? So they went and they hired people, Luke Gallows, and they said, put on this Kane outfit. You're going to be pretend Kane. And they called him, I think, fake Kane. I don't remember. It was like other Kane. And then they take Razor Ramon and they go, you know what? We're going to dress this guy up as you. They took Gilbert. Remember him? That was Goldberg. They said, you know what? Here's a skinny, tiny, weak version of Goldberg. And they used that to rip on him. It was a guy named Gilbert who was a hillbilly. So essentially what they've done is they've taken our Goldberg and they gave us Gilbert and they said, this is the original. And we're going, this is not Goldberg. He can't even do a spear.
Yeah. Because I don't think it was an I don't think it was an EXE file. I think what they played in court was literally a screen capture of, like, if I screen captured my desktop and then said, oh, I'm playing it in this player, but it's not. So it's either scenario A.
It's not the Richard Al. They're not filming with a cell phone. They actually did a screen capture. So that's worse, because that's the difference between an iPhone 14 filming something and my shit, whatever the technology is of this screen I got in 2013. Like, that's what's filming it. So it's absolutely going to change the quality.
Well, it's going to change. It wouldn't even so much change the quality, because if you're, so for example, if I'm playing a video in Echovision and I'm just screen recording it.
If I'm viewing something, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm very concerned. If I'm viewing something in a 1080p, but because I have an old monitor that can't reflect 4K, then
yes,
what?
in that retrospect, you're correct.
Okay, so is that what happened?
No, I think that it would still show some facial features, and just the unnatural blur in that video is what really tells me that it was changed. And also the time code. So in Echovision, it's very precise. So that time code is baked into that sandwich packet that we talked about, metaphorically, like the sandwich packet. So if I wanted to export an AVI, it's not going to have that time code on it. It wouldn't have it. The only way to get that time code is if A, you're playing an executable file in the Echovision Media Player, or if you're screen recording it. So if I am just playing it in the player and I capture, I do the little window snippet tool, think of it as like a loom.com video, and I'm screen recording it, and then I create like an MP4 or an AVI, I can just put that right in an editor and then start editing it. And as far as the flipping, like the inversion, that could be done two different ways. So that could have been done in post, but also, I'm not going to lie, Echovision does have the capability to invert a video upon playing. So if you're playing it in Echovision, you can flip that video and then, like, within the actual interface itself. So I do think it was probably flipped in the interface. I think it was probably flipped in Echovision. like upon playing it or upon, saving the executable file before it was actually screen grabbed and played within the Equivision media player. And then I think it was inverted beforehand. It was played in that Equivision media player, and then it was screen captured and edited in an editing software program, which would explain the weird frames, those weird ghosting frames, because you're going to be recording a screen. So that's going to add to that comet trail that we're talking about for the GOP. Does that make sense, or am I overcomplicating it?
It does, but I'm starting to wonder, like, okay, what do we know what software they used?
I think it was After Effects. Because especially with even some of the stuff that Microdots did and some of the unnatural artifacts of, like, again, that, the right tail light that was supposedly broken, but it really was the left because it was inverted.
And see, this is Leah just said this is what's vexing me, to be honest. I actually have this in an email to Melanie Little, and I think I sent you a screenshot of it. That's what tripped me out, Leah. In the chat, in Melanie Little's chat that day when we watched that, it was May something. I think I sent you a screenshot, right? Did you see, if you pause it, when Kanoni's throwing a fucking bitch fit, because there's a picture on the wall adults can see. God forbid they see something too long. It's got all the files, right? And you can see the folders, but you can also see the format. Now, there were 2 pictures that I sent her. I need to find the text one because I think that's the one where it's the list, because they were popping it up to where you could see the individual file folders, right? And it had the names, and it would say like Sallyport, blah, blah, blah. But it would also, some of them just had numbers. Then there's one that's the list. Yeah. And
Right
did you
before the
notice
screen.
when they pull up the fucking video that they ultimately showed, do you see what pops up right before it starts? That little orange cone. Yes. And that was the moment I took my laptop and went, and then I texted Melanie while she's live, which I never do unless it's an emergency or I'm sending her, like, here's that thing you wanted, and then she's going to show it, Like, when I saw that, I was texting, I was emailing, I was like, Melanie, go back. But she's like doing live commentary. But even then, she's like, wait, what? Like, I remember, and you could still see it in the live. Like, I'm in the chat in all caps screaming. I'm like, stop it. Oh my God, go back. That's an AVI fucking file. Like, there's no way. Like, and I said, what is this DivX shit? Because it was, remember, DivX was the only way you could play it for free when you were poor. And to me, it's like, why would you have the free poor thing? You're the cops. Why do you have Audacity when you could have Ableton? Like, what is going on here? You're using GarageBand. You should be using fucking goddamn fucking, I can't even remember the fancy one Apple has that Pro Tools. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? And it was shocking. Like, DivX, what are we in 2006? What are we fucking fighting Napster? What are we downloading fucking shoegaze from LimeWire? What is happening?
That player actually does play AVIs back pretty smoothly, so it's not as skippy.
I know. I'm just,
but
diva. I hated
but that's the thing, is that's why it's very odd, right? Because it does have that, and it's and that's where I really think that it was an AVI file, and there was some parts that it was pulled up, and it did look like there was like a little Equivision. It looked like there was something there, but I think it was all part of a video. I think it was literally a part of a video. I think it was literally a screen grab that was, again, they played the video in Equivision. They did a little screen capture. So if I just captured my screen, and then they put it in an editor, and they pulled it up to be like, hey, look, we're playing it in Equivision, but it's not really played in Equivision. It just looks like it is. Do you know what I'm saying?
You could do another test.
That's what I'm going to do this weekend.
What if they did this? What if they were playing it in Equivision, right? And then they pulled open another program to play it in. And then right before they did that, they had done the screenshot. Or like right after. And there, you know how sometimes it'll fade in? Depending on what kind of like if you're using Firefox, Mozilla and shit versus Chrome, if you have a Dell or a fucking Mac, sometimes it does kind of like when you can pick in between, segueing between frames when you're making video, how it used to be like the fucking ska squares and it'll fucking fade out. Remember how cheesy it was? And then some of them all flips. Like typically most computers, you just click it and it's done. But with some video programs, I noticed there's a fade out or an opaqueness. almost like tracers, but it's like an opaque overlay that takes a second to go away. What if they hit screenshot right after they opened it?
So I'll show you this after. I'll show you this tomorrow. We have to connect tomorrow because I think I found it. I think I found something just like what you're talking about, and that's why I was
recreate
I
it.
did. I kind of found something that's like similar to that, where it I'll show you tomorrow because it's like easier to explain if I just kind of show you it. But yeah, so what you're talking about, I think I found it because initially I literally saw it play, and I thought the way they made it look, it did 100% look like it was played in Equivision, and I was very confused. I rewrote that file 20 times, and I know how to rewrite.
Colors are different. Like all the fonts look the same, don't they? In Equivision, and these were yellow. That's what
you can change that. The time code you can change. What you can't
why
do.
would they if the original is not yellow? It looks like they forgot. See what Abby, see what Leah's saying? The time stat at the bottom wasn't flipped and mirrored, so they had to add it.
I can explain that. So in Equivision, so there's recording settings, right? So if I want to play a video and I want to mirror it, I can still mirror that video and the time code is going to be correct.
Well, goddamn, of course it is. Fuck.
Yeah. So I don't want to give bad information because I actually did do that. So I did mirror a video and I did put the I did do the fonts, but that being said, there are some weird artifacts of like there's some drop shadows behind it, and that's a little bit trickier to know because you have to really have the original file to be like, yep, because you can see that in the XML data. You know what I mean? But as far as the time code, but that's the thing is so if they don't have the executable file, meaning that they don't have what was supposedly played at trial. So that exe file is not in existence anymore. That is the original file, or would theoretically be the original file, which you would be able to go through Equivision, literally go to file, authenticate. It would say, like these hash values are authenticated, done. It's, it's an original file. You can, do different, video forensics on it, boom. But they don't have that file. That's the problem is they don't have that file. So all that they really have at this point is the AVI. Because if they don't have the executable file, there's no way to authenticate it.
Okay, let me break this down, kids. So what they need, what they really fucking need is Goldberg. They need Roman Reigns. They need Brock Lesnar. They need they need Macho Man. Okay? They need Miss Elizabeth. What they're getting is some fucking indie jobber that works for free. Okay. So they want champagne and they're being handed a glass of grape juice. Okay.
Basically.
And they're being told this is the same as a champagne. It's like ordering an alcoholic beverage and there's no alcohol in it.
Yeah. It's not, you can't, basically there's no way to tell that it's authentic at that point because it's not authentic because whether they got the screen grab, and I'll just call it a screen grab because maybe that's easier for people to digest, like a screen grab video. You know what I mean? So whether they got the screen grab video of like it being played in, again, Equivision, of that little screen grab of Equivision, or they got the AVI. So if they got the AVI file and it was an export out of Equivision, it wouldn't have that time code.
Well, when
so
you export, it doesn't copy all the activity
it.
logs, right? When you export, it doesn't copy and auto include all the activity logs.
Doesn't include anything if it's an AVI. The only time it will include like activity of the file or again, like the time code is if it's an exe file. If it's not that,
Sherry D,
then yeah.
The screenshots, Allie's screenshots, that's what this is.
But just to give you to your point where I think that's theory A of how they did it is a screen grab. Theory B is that they literally did a screen grab and then just think about like if I wanted to take a video of my cat and put Kim Kardashian's face on it. Like I wanted to superimpose it into that box.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to like take this video now and put a photo of my cat over your face, I could do that. And that would be the same thing as kind of when I refer to layering. You can also do that, but if you layer, an AVI that's like an export, or say that you edited the file, it's not going to have that time code. So you would have to put the time code back onto it.
Yeah, and it's going to change the compression rate a little bit.
Yes.
So that's Interesting. That's
So you could do
interesting
it 2 different
because
ways.
basically instead of getting the Mona Lisa, you're getting a screenshot of the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it's kind of like a screenshot. You know what I mean? Because they did play it in Equivision, so I think there was a screenshot there. So whether they flipped it and inverted it within Equivision, and then again, like just kind of did like a little screen grab of it and had it play that way, and then took that into After Effects or Premiere and chopped it up, added maybe some of those like unnatural effects with the tail light. They could have done it that way, or they could have literally just taken a screen grab of Equivision and then just superimposed like an export of AVI on top of it. But if they did that, then they would have to actually put the time code, because again, we're talking about inverting something. So if you export something without a time code, you're gonna have to add that time code back in if it wasn't, again, inverted and flipped in the program. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm probably overcomplicating it.
No, you're not. And the thing is, okay, so the hash values situation is going to be part of the hash values are part of the log. Okay, so we talked about hash values a while back on this channel. Essentially, what a hash value is it is specifically for authentication. And we're not just talking about legally or for court, for everything. It is to authenticate. If you have, okay, do you remember when we talked about, I'm talking to the channel right now, but Abby, I am genuinely curious if you remember, we went over Madeline and Stefan Soto's case, or Stefan Stearns and Madeline Soto's case, and Jen Soto, sorry. And that poor little girl, awful fucking situation. And there was a bit of a conspiracy going around because a guy dressed up as Santa Claus got busted nearby and happened to work at Disney once. And he got busted for child porn. And one of the things that was unique in that, but it caught the eye of a lot of conspiracy theorists on the internet, was the fact that there was a cyber tip on this case. Now, most people, when they hear cyber tip, they think somebody called in using an online mechanism, or they reported to an online entity. They put a tip in over the internet. What a cyber tip actually means, or meant in this case, is NCMEC, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, keeps a log, a database. It's almost like how apartments.com functions, and then people use APIs. They use web crawlers to pick up the information, the data, and it auto updates them and tells their websites, hey, this apartment's open. So whatever apartment.com changes, imagine that automatically changes on your website. So you just set it up to do that all the time. All my updates come when theirs come. So anytime someone is busted with child pornography in the US, and that gets put in a case record, right? The hash value for that content, aka the identifiable numbers used to authenticate, or descriptions used to authenticate, typically it's like numbers, that gets logged. And it also gets sent to NCMEC, and it's updated to, all the exploited children centers, so that if somebody all of a sudden pops up with that exact hash value on anything that they have on their computer, Google, which is connected to NCMEC, and Mozilla, which has a deal with NCMEC, and every fucking search engine allowed in the US, other than maybe DuckDuckGo, but even that, I mean, even Tor is monitored by that. Every single time the little metadata number that is buried in that CSAM photo, anytime someone downloads it, opens it, views it, or clicks on a link of a site that has it, it is now imprinted on your computer IP address. If you're using a VPN, it doesn't matter. It literally will go. Imagine someone's drawing a doodle squiggly line that still goes to you. So then the FBI kicks open your door and they go, pop-ups, you're bad, you're going to hell. And then they take them to jail because you pinged with hash values on content, or you possess content in your Google Drive that matches something in our list of hash values that we know to be scam. So those collect over time. And the idea is to basically stop the spread of this shit, this utter foul shit, right? The same hash values and all those that are used to get justice for all the child sexploitation cases, those are embedded in video too. And that's what your log is. It's going to show you hash values, times, dates, like all these different things. It just kind of depends on the program.
Especially in that codex. So when I talk about containers in the I'm like so dyslexic. EVX
Also,
file.
by the way, I want to talk about that for 1 second. You guys, look, we all know that me and Abby are getting hosed and sprayed with diarrhea on the internet. It's not a fucking secret. There's people out to get us because we're pretty. So
I mean, we're so pretty. What can we say?
So pretty. We're so pretty.
I have to always think about EVX. I'm like, oh, sometimes I just, you know, when you think about words in your head and then you just try to say them and you just get confused. It's kind of like my right and left. When I give my boyfriend, he'll be driving because I don't drive because I drive him nuts. But I'll just be like, take a left, and he's supposed to take a right, and I'm just like really dyslexic in that way.
Dude, right,
so
left,
think about like 3-letter words.
OBGTP and sometimes T. Yeah, all of it. Like, and here's the thing: we're getting sprayed, hosed with diarrhea on the internet. Abby has severe dyslexia. It's crippling. Yeah, she spells liar wrong. Yeah, it's layer. She has no idea she's doing this unless you tell her.
Well, it's also the phone, you know, like the spell correction on the phone. Like I just look, when I Slack and when I do like company emails all day, I'm not gonna lie. You wanna know like a really big secret? I have to use ChatGPT to correct it.
Dude, that's one of the things people didn't realize. Like, yes, AI is killing us all and it's fucking ruining the world.
I love AI. I mean, I only like it for that reason.
Dude,
don't tell Plevin that though.
Blind
because I give him shit all the time for ChatGPT, and I use it all the time.
Blind people at the School for the Blind, which is here in Austin, like they teach people how, like, newly blind, how to live. They're always walking around in my neighborhood, and I talk to them sometimes, and like usually they're kind of busy fucking learning how to be blind, but like they're trying to figure out like these are new sound smells, and it's amazing to see the people work with them. But it's very interesting how they're integrating AI into it. It's really become really helpful for disabled people, visually impaired people, people who perhaps, you know, everything from any learning disability, dyslexia, hot dog fingers, like whatever you have, there's an AI app to help you. Be My Eyes was one that we talked about. There's a whole bunch of them.
Well, even like Grammarly now has AI into it. Because I remember when it first came out, like when AI wasn't really around, it was still pretty good. So you could, type something real fast and it would, spell correct you, do proper grammar and stuff, which was great for me. So I've used that ever since, ever since it came out. But then, AI came out and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's so much faster, because then it will like rephrase things for clarity. So if you're over explaining something or under explaining something, it will restructure the sentences. So it makes sense.
And it's
I'm not gonna lie, I do that shit all the time. I just don't really have time on Twitter to, copy and paste into ChatGPT and say, please correct me.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my excuse. I'm not gonna lie.
But also what a dick move. What a dick move of Elon to get rid of the edit function. Didn't he have it Twitter had just, I don't know if you remember this, Twitter had just added an edit function right before everyone
had that, right? And like I think they got rid of it.
And then Elon got rid of it.
I got really excited.
Dude, all of the moderation is now, all of it is streamlined. Like it's all AI, it's all botted. Like there's no people responding. It's looking for code words like slurs, tropes, things like that. That's why someone will be completely destroying your life, calling you names and shitting all over you and just saying insane shit. And no matter what, they're not going to take it down because they didn't use the right fucking slur. And it's like, well, damn it. It's really out of your control.
You know what? It's all Suri's fault because I don't know. I mean, I guess there are some people that have enough time to like spell check their tweets, or maybe they're just not. Or maybe they're just not dyslexic. I don't know. But some people do really long ones and everything is perfectly correct, perfect punctuation, perfect, grammar.
I'm that bitch who will write. I'll that's why I get more raged when people say I rage tweet than when I'm actually doing it. Like when I'm doing it, I'm calm and I'm like, I'm gonna get this motherfucker. But then as soon as I'm done, I read it and I go, oh my God, I sound insane. And then I'll either delete it or I'll go, I need to fix that fucking spelling. And then I'll say it out loud. Like I take my time and I calmly write it. And then they go, look at her rage tweeting. And I go, I took my fucking time. I checked my fucking spelling. And then I'm raging. So like for me, it's one of those just don't say it at all or try to like I miss when it was just 149 characters and you're cut the fuck off.
Well, you know what pisses me off is like, okay, so if I go back and sometimes I'll go back because I have to reread things. And that's another thing that was like such a pain in the ass. That's why I hate copywriting and when I write scripts and stuff, because I have to reread it 3 or 4 times. And again, I think it's just like the dyslexia. I'll have to read it 3 or 4 times to catch things, which is really problematic. So in Twitter, when you respond to somebody, you can't edit it. You know, you can edit your tweets, but you can't edit the responses. And I'm like, that's kind of bullshit. Then I just look like a moron. And I'm just like, I don't freaking care. Whatever. You know, like I don't care.
And if you do care about the likes, what's even worse when you get like 15 likes and you're like, that's a pretty hefty number. I haven't gotten that many in a long time. And then you're like, oh God damn it, I spelled that wrong. And then it's like,
I don't
get rid of it.
I think I just don't care about likes either. So
I don't either.
that's why I don't
I'm like,
care.
get the fuck rid of it. Don't let anyone see that I spelled that. I spelled principle wrong. Like that happens to me constantly. I've got like 5 words that I just fuck up every time. Principle is one of them. Capital is another. The A and the O fucks me, dude, every time.
I always do definitely always screws me up. I can never say definitely or scenario. I always miss the spelling of that. I don't know. There's a lot of words.
Tomorrow, I always do double M, double R, and then I'm like, nah, wait, go back. It's fucking tomorrow gets me every fucking time. What's your word, kids? Calendar? Okay, that's a good cemetery. Calendar. Dude, Tinder?
Cemetery, I spell wrong all the time.
Dude, it's so fucking, I'll be inside out soon, said Sarah. I don't know what that means, but that's fucking hilarious.
Commit, I spell commit wrong.
Colander is a hard one because
stationary. Why is all of these words I spell wrong? I'm just bad at
spelling. Yeah, are you guys spelling them all wrong or right? Because I actually can't tell. I was a spelling bee champion.
I can't tell.
Stationary. Oh Jesus! So glad you girls are saying this. Me too. Right? Isn't there productive?
Necessary is another one.
Which one?
Necessary. I spell necessary wrong all the time.
I can actually get that one because necessary room is what we call the toilet because of an inside joke. License fucks me up. I know it's a C, and every time I do an S, I throw an S out there and I go, maybe this time. And no, never right. Fuck.
Maybe I should just go back to kindergarten.
What is this?
I think I just missed grammar school or something. Business. I spell business wrong all the time.
What is this shit?
Yeah, I think I'm just an idiot.
I don't even know what this is. Prestidigitation? I don't even know what that is. I don't even.
I should probably jump. I probably need to jump off soon. I'm sorry. Basic Bob is going to be home. But do you want to continue this like tomorrow?
Yes, 100%. But also, we did not follow the plan at all. I was going to read your nerd tweets out loud. You were going to read your nerd tweets out loud to me. I was going to make you explain them, and then I was going to re-explain them in Wrestling or Spice Girls. But this worked out way better. We had a nerd off, and that was fun.
We did.
We had a nerd freak off.
You understand it all. You really understood it all.
I understood 75% of it. I'm still very confused by. I'm a little confused by Equivision and how or AccuVision. I'm a little confused by the AVI transferring. I get it. It's like when you're trying to learn algebra and you can never do it. And then one day someone explains it to you like these 4 guys and these 4 guys somehow is 16. It never made sense together. But then someone explains 4 plus 4 plus 5. And then you go, oh, fuck. It's like that. Like it is. I have to have things to metaphor. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Like a metaphor analogy.
I need a good analogy. And then I started thinking about it audio and something that you said clicked. And when you agreed with the Google Docs, I was like, oh, okay. And then like the whole TX is there's like little subtle differences. I maybe need to catch up on some things, but it's fascinating. I think you really are right. Because Before you go, can we show that security camera frame per second thing and then you go? It's
Yeah.
1 minute.
Let me just go into the other room before Basic Bob comes in and he's like, "What
Or
are
you
you
know what?
doing?"
Why don't you go and then you can watch and I'll play this. And if you want to comment.
Okay, and then I'll
Isn't that good?
I'll comment in the chat.
Okay, good. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Abby.
because I should probably put some stuff in the air fryer because it's like, why didn't you make dinner? I just texted you.
Dude,
You
you better get
pain
in
the
there
ass.
in that kitchen, Abby. Hey, listen, tomorrow C. Smith has a hack. It's Tom or Roe.
Okay. Yeah, let's connect tomorrow because I'd love to like continue this. I think like we're definitely onto something. Maybe we could do like an earlier stream.
I don't even think Abby realizes how fucking funny she is. You just said, yeah, well, tomorrow. I'm talking about the spelling of tomorrow, dude.
Oh my God. I do that all the
But
time.
you segued perfect. That was like flawless.
I
dude.
mean, that was actually, I thought you just said tomorrow.
I'm trying to learn how to spell here. And you're like,
Oh
yeah,
my God.
tomorrow. That was fucking hilarious. Someone clip that. That was fucking
Somebody should
funny.
clip that.
For fuck's sake. Thank you so much. What's your
Thank
channel?
you
Are
so
you doing it?
much.
Are you doing a channel? You're doing it, right?
Yes. I'm gonna start doing some troubleshooting shit tomorrow.
You're so
Maybe I'll have
precious. You
some
look
others-
like Britney Spears back when she was in Louisiana before the
Oh,
fucking
I do?
cage and the fucking
Oh.
umbrella. Oh, Abby. Oh,
Well,
Abby.
thank you. I mean, at least I showered today, which
Who
is
said
good, you know?
Eurovision? Someone said Eurovision. We should watch Eurovision this year. Okay. What's your channel? Are you gonna do it?
Yeah, I already made it. So it's at
Okay.
Video Jesus at CT. What is my channel? Is that bad that I don't know it?
No, we'll find
I
it.
mean,
Hold
I
on.
know that I have it. I'm pretty sure
Well-
I have it. Where is it? It's
Video
at
Jesus.
CT Video Jesus at CT. So you know what the CT stands for? Cat turd. CT
Dude.
Video Jesus because the Video Jesus was taken.
Turd. I do think it's funny that you're like, okay, I'm a turd, and then you just commit to that fucking bit. Okay, here. I'm putting this in here. This is how you can follow Abby.
It's
okay.
at CT.
You'll
Video
follow Abby into the dark. There you go. CT Video Jesus. Okay. Go blow her ass up. Oh my God, it's little kitties and they're scratching the Lord and Savior.
Isn't it fun?
That's
all right.
so
I do gotta go and make some dinner, but
peace.
It's been real. Thanks so much.
We're gonna see you back soon tomorrow, maybe if you're free. Sick.
Yes.
All right, cool. Say bye to Abby,
Okay.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Yay. Look, that's your auntie. Everything's fine. You know, honestly, like I ain't even mad at Abby at all. I cunted out too. We both cunted out on each other, but some of my best friends in my life, it started out with us being like, fuck you, bitch. And then we fucking had a tussle in a parking lot. A couple bottles get broke, and all of a sudden we're besties. Still friends to this day. I've been hit in the face by grown-ass women who are now my homies. Not that gang, but like comedians, strangers, drunk fucking fans, or what do you call it? Audience members, shit like that. They come up, they take a swing at you. Next thing you know, you're at their house party, and then you're at their wedding and shit. Like, it's fine. But you know what? Abby and me, we fucking hated each other for like 2 days. Then we fucking made up because it was just a big misunderstanding. You know, sometimes you're swimming in a sea of country, and then you realize, like, hey, what am I doing in here? I don't want to be in the water. Let me go back to the beach. And you see someone else who tried to drown you, and then you try to drown them, and then you're like, hey, sorry, we tried to do that. Then you're fine. You know, honestly, I mean, it's a whole thing, Julie. It's too much. But basically, we both got a little maybe manipulated. Maybe we both, I was getting hosed with diarrhea by some of her homegirls. I think that she didn't understand the situation, but just like I would do with my homies, was like, no matter what, I got to stand by my bitches. You know, you got to stand on business. And so she was like, I'm standing on business. And then after a while, she was like, this ain't the kind of business I want to do. And then she apologized to me. It was very heartfelt. But see, while she was standing on her business, I stood on my business. So then it's like, we're both on business? What? And then it's like, yo, We in two different businesses. It ain't a problem. We can all coexist. She did a brief heel turn and then she came back and saved WrestleMania, dude. She said, let's never do this again. I said, let's never do this again. And then we hugged and then we homeward bounded. We made it back home. She is, dude. It's wild. Honestly, I don't think I've ever really gotten an apology where the apology was so good that I felt the need to apologize too. It's like when someone gives a good wedding speech and you're like, well, maybe I should say something. You know, it was genuinely like so heartfelt. In fact, she was way too hard on herself. I said hard on. But in all seriousness, like, I don't think, I mean, she told me she didn't like what was going on in the way that people were behaving towards me. And honestly, I don't like the person I become when I'm provoked, because then I stoop to those levels. They go low and I fucking sweep the legs and try to get behind in a fucking full Nelson or a crossface chicken wing, or I'll try to go for Boston crab. I just go insane. And sometimes if somebody doesn't stop and go, this ain't fucking right, we ain't got no beef, then it just keeps escalating. It gets worse. It affects more people. It gets distracted. It causes all these problems, right? I think pretty early on, it was like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, homie? And then we went in for the kiss. I'm just kidding. One of these days, I'm going to go in for a kiss. It's going to work. I'll do it on my boyfriend. There you go. But in all seriousness, me and her like have a lot in common. It was kind of like, what are we doing here? We like each other. We're homies. Wait a minute. It was just a moment of buffoonery. And I absolutely forgive her. And I even apologized to her. She wouldn't accept it because she doesn't think I should. But I think I should. Because I was cunty. It was like we had a couple of mean tweets. We're over it. And I'm so glad, because honestly, it's kind of cool to have someone to nerd out with about shit. And I know that people say this all the time and it sounds stupid. And I normally don't like try to focus on this, but honestly, like being a woman in the tech industry is really fucking hard. It may be more difficult than comedy, which is hell for a female. And I'm not trying to pull the like, oh, women, we have to, but it's just a fact. It fucking is hard. And I don't mean hard like, it's hard to do my job. It's like people leave you out of text exchanges. People avoid bringing you in on projects, or you do all the work and you get no credit. It's very strange to be the only woman in a room full of dudes and everybody's like, shh, the girl's coming. So what's up? And it's weird. And it happens so much. So like, what's even weirder than that is when you're working in anything. Yes, STEM, C. Smith gets it. Fucking when you're working in any industry, it feels like it's like that, right? But in all seriousness, it's something about tech makes it really fucking hard. It's almost like there are people. I mean, it's like there are people who literally get put ahead of the people who build programs that a company is upholding or maintaining. Like there are women who create things. They are the ones who created it. And a lot of men telling them what to do with their own software. This is so common. But so rarely would you see someone do that to like an Elon Musk, if you will. It's very wild. It is actually, it kind of reminds me of the whole like, and we accepted male nurses without an issue. But what about female doctors? Woo! It's hard. And the only thing worse than like having to be the only woman in an industry, no matter what it is when there's two and the other one doesn't fucking like you. Because now you're two bitches competing to be the least hated. Jesus. And then sometimes there's a couple of women and a group of them fucking hate you. And they just want you fucking gone. And you're just like, damn. And women, boys, close your ears. Women are smarter than men, so they're more evil. So when they do evil things to you, it's really fucked up. The men will eat your lunch. The women will poison it. So it's nice when females stick together and support each other. And it's really fucking hard when you're already in a place where you're not supported and you see someone and I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about video flipping. The guys are going to hear and steal our work. So it's really nice to have a woman to talk to about nerd fucking shit. Like when me and Mitty talk about fucking Fed smoker and wrestling. Or when me and Melissa talk about turds. Just human feces. That's all we talk about. Farts and turds. It's nice. So we like having Abby around. I enjoy having Abby around. She's extremely intelligent. I absolutely accepted her apology. It was fucking what? It was the best. In the words of Mrs. fucking Parks, Parksy from the block, it was chef's kiss. And I know I banned it. So what? I broke my own rules. Broke my own fucking rules. And she's wicked smart. And she solved the Sallyport. And I'm pretty proud of her right now. And I'm just like, it's hard to see something that is so fucking brilliant and want to be able to explain to people, do you understand what a big fucking deal this is? And like Abby did it. And she's been saying this shit for a while, but I think she wasn't entirely sure. She likes to be 100%, just like anyone with a fucking head on their ass or whatever. So today when she was tweeting, I was looking at it and I was like, oh, this kind of makes sense to me a little more than usual. And I've worked in extraction or with extraction tools, but not necessarily on a lot of video. It's a little hard for me to comprehend. And the way she puts it, it's like, oh, shit. This is kind of a big deal, you guys. Like, not only is it no longer, I mean, no other court in the U.S. would accept this as evidence. I'm still shocked they accepted that screenshot from old Allie. But this should be, I mean, fuck this. I hope the defense knows. They have to know. I hope that their guy noticed it. I think he may have. But Abby fucking explained it pre-trial, like before the trial came out. Like, yes, that's the only thing that really makes sense. Dude, thank you for coming on, Abby. You're fucking dope. We are going to explain it in total fucking wrestling metaphors next time. Darlene, you're so goddamn funny. I'm playing by V-Dot, thank you. Yeah, and like in all seriousness, like I feel like I've kind of had my ego down for a while because I'm like, yeah, I'm a piece of shit. Fine, whatever. Fuck, leave me alone. You just fucking want people to leave me alone. Like, sure, call me a big puddle of dick. Whatever. Just leave me alone. And like, I think Abby's fucking tired of it too. It's like, God damn, dude. What is it? Birdman said, keep my fucking name out your mouth. I could have pulled up twice, but I didn't. Fucking Birdman, dude. I'm just happy. And I'm honestly like, I don't think I've ever met anyone as mature and brave as Abby in the face of such an awkward situation where she could have easily just fucking been, fuck you, sprayed me with fucking water. Nope. She didn't do, did you do this? And say you did the pee when I didn't. No. She said, listen, I know you didn't piss on the carpet. My bad. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I thought about peeing on the carpet, but I didn't. Birdman pulled up on Charlemagne. He said, I could have pulled up twice, but I didn't. Are we finished or are we done? Right? That's what I've been screaming. Yo, y'all finished or y'all done? Like fucking for days, for weeks. Fucking, are we finished or are we fucking done? God damn, put some respect. I don't even need respect on my name, Charlemagne. Talk shit on my name. I don't give a fuck. Just leave me alone. Don't tag me in it. Fuck. We're going to watch some frames per second differences. You guys ready? So let's peep this shit, right? Let's peep what's going on here, okay? This is the difference in frames per second And let's see if we can tell. And I'm going to take myself out so you can see them fully. All right. Fucking Birdman's so sick. Y'all finished. Y'all done. All right. So this is bottom right. 1 frame per second. Left 7.5 per second. Now this one right here, I believe it's more like 7, I think was like, I believe that was Jennifer Kessie's case. Right? And then 15 frames per second and 30. Is she still, are you still in the chat, hon? Abby, did you say it was 30? I think she said it was like around 30. But either way, pay attention to these two, I would say. There, you can already see a little difference in quality. You can see a little difference. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this at top qual. Why the fuck not? Oh my God. That's even way better. All right, here we go. Let's see. You ready? Here we go. Okay. You can already see a big difference. I think it's actually much better to look at that. So it's 9 seconds in the same video, and look at the difference between 1 frame per second and 30. 1 frame per second, you can still see all his feet. And over here, you can't. And look at the hair. The stairs are the same height. This is interesting. So 1 frame per second means every second a new frame is shown, i.e. every 1 second a new picture is taken. On this one, 7.5 pictures or frames. On this one, 15. You can really see the difference in quality. Let's watch it again. And so it's not awkward. How about I'm going to put, where's the fucking song? Where did it go? Here we go. From my boyfriend, Lo-Fi Tal Jams for you guys. That guy. Here we go.
That's assault, ma'am. That's assault, ma'am. Rape, ma'am. Flop that chair, ma'am. That's assault, ma'am. That's assault, ma'am. Rape, ma'am. Rape, flop that chair here. These people are going to eject you from this line. That's assault, ma'am.
And actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow this video down. I know that seems crazy, but this is how I like to edit. And I do think that you can actually see the frame pausing. Like that you can see the literal pauses in the frames when you do that. So I'm going to try that so we can see that, okay? Because I really do think it's going to change it a little bit. You'll see what I'm saying. You'll see what I'm saying.
You cannot touch me like that. Oh, I will be telling them exactly what happened. Rape, ma'am. These people are going to eject you from this line. That's assault. That's assault. We have video of her just touching. How did that change? Well, I will be. Excuse me. She just, ma'am. Excuse me. Rape, that's assault. Excuse. Flop that chair, ma'am. You cannot touch me like that. Rape, rape. Oh, I will be telling them. Rape, that's assault. Flop that. That's assault. That's assault. Flop that. Rape, that's assault. Flop that chair here. We have video of her just touching. These people are going to eject you from this line. How did that change? I will be assault. It is incredibly inappropriate. I will. You cannot touch me like that. That's assault. Rape, flop that chair here. Ma'am, you cannot touch me like that. It is that's assault. Rape, that's assault. Rape, flop that chair, ma'am. Flop that chair, ma'am. Flop that chair, ma'am. These people are going to eject you from this line. Rape, that's assault. Rape, ma'am. Rape, oh, I will.
I'm assuming. I shouldn't say it. I feel like this is Williamsburg. I'm sorry, it's the hats. But also, isn't it look at the, I mean, it's tripping me out how different. Obviously, we're going slow for a reason. I told you guys it's more visible, right? So let's get right here, right when he's walking down the stairs. 1 frame per second. Look at that. You're only getting a little bit of the image. Pause every once in a while. All right. Up there at 30, you see the guy walking just like kind of slow. It's a pretty big difference, if you ask me. Also, I'm going to fade out on this. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I've been kind of freaking out over this a little bit all day just because it's like, damn, Abby, you really fucking found that shit out, didn't you? God damn, it makes sense. It's a great explanation. I can't wait for her to provide us with visual aids, which we'll get prepped for. I'm so sorry. Listen, there's no coming back from that joke. All right, bye.
Ma'am, that's assault. That's assault. Oh, I will be telling them exactly what happened. Drop that chair here. That's assault. Rape.